Championship Sunday at the ACC Women's Championship is here, and history will be made at Porter's Neck Country Club in Wilmington, North Carolina. Stanford, the #1 team in the country, strong favorite to win not only their first ever ACC team championship, but another national championship, meeting SMU in the final. SMU also making their first trip to this conference championship, and today they will look to slay Goliath and shock the world. So again, it started with 15 teams. We are now down to 2, Stanford and SMU, and the matchups will play out like this. Stanford, again, is so stacked. It will be Grace Jin, Meja Ortengren, Mackenzie Lee, Magha Ganne, Celine Chen, next out of the box, taking on Andrea Revuelta from Spain. Match 4, Kira St. Laurent against the senior Kelly Sue. And the anchor match will be Emily Odwin for SMU, Paula Martin Sampedro, the individual winner in the ACC. This is what they'll play for. It is an ACC conference championship. Neither Stanford or SMU has ever won an ACC championship. Obviously, both very new to the conference here in conference realignment. Taking a look at Porter's Neck Country Club. Thought the golf course yesterday fared very well. It is fast. It's quick. We'll play just over 6,200 yards, a par 72. Tom Fazio design. And as I said, really good condition, and I thought a really nice test in the semifinals. But today, 5 matches with a conference championship on the line. Let's head down to the first tee, get things underway as it's Stanford and SMU playing for an ACC crown.
Good morning. On behalf of McConnell Golf and Porter's Neck Country Club, we would like to welcome you to the 2026 ACC Women's Golf Championship. This morning, we will be playing the championship round of match play. Now on the tee for our 9:02 start time, please welcome from Stanford, Meja Ortengren, and from SMU, Grace Jin. Stanford has the honors this morning. Play away, ladies.
All right, so it's real, and it's here. Ryan Burr with NCAA champion at Ole Miss, Julia Johnson. And Julia, some pressure for sure on this opening tee box. I don't care even if you have the resume of Meja Ortengren. She's won just about everything. She was the freshman of the year, first team All-American. She is a true superstar. See if the pressure kicks in. Yesterday we saw huge bounce here at the first, and I think maybe they learned a little bit how far right you need to play this to keep it in the fairway.
Yeah, that was a beautiful tee shot, leaning on it just a little bit, but it worked out perfectly.
And now Grace Jin, the junior from Huntsville, Texas. Won the Texas Am in her career. Been a really good match play player.
Good luck and enjoy your round.
These are 2 women that both won their matches yesterday, 3 and 2. Excited to see what they do in the lead match today. That finds the bunker, so advantage Stanford in the first match.
She pulled that tee shot, especially when you want to play it right to left, but we'll see. We're off and running, literally off and running here on the ACC network. Ryan Burr, the aforementioned Julia Johnson. Julia, certainly it is a case of David and Goliath. You look at the Stanford team, you can make an argument the 5 best players in college golf are all on Stanford. They are that powerful. They're that good. But for SMU, what did you like about yesterday that makes you believe they'll have a chance today?
I love their energy. They came out yesterday with great energy. They played really well. The putters were really hot for SMU yesterday, and that is so important in match play. You have to putt the ball ball well. We saw that a lot from SMU yesterday. I enjoyed their energy. They were having fun out there, fist bumps, waving back to their teammates. That's also important in match play, especially when you come into the postseason. You want to enjoy it out there. You want to play for your teammates, and that's what they did yesterday.
So it is match play here in the finals. How big of an advantage is that for SMU in that Stanford's won just about everything they've played this year? They played 2 match play events. They didn't win either. Why is match play maybe an equalizer when the talent seems to be so lopsided?
Well, it absolutely is an equalizer, and that's what SMU needs to rely on today. They can go out there. If they get off to a hot start, the putters get hot. It doesn't matter that they're playing Stanford. They're going head-to-head with one girl individually. That's all they need to think about. Go out there, win your match. That's all you can do.
Stanford is the big favorite. In match play, is there any way that SMU can kind of use that against them, that it is us versus the world?
I think they absolutely can use that against them. When I won SECs with my team in 2019, now we were the 8 seed going against a 1 seed. We believed in that. We went out, won our quarterfinal match, we won our semifinal match, and we took down the Goliaths of the SEC. I think that you can feed into that. If you believe in yourself, if you believe in your teammates, that's all you need out there to go and win that match.
Well, you take a look at Stanford and SMU, as we said, both relatively new to the ACC, both trying to win their first ever conference championship. Certainly Stanford has aspirations, anything but an NCAA championship. It probably would be considered a bad year. Let's go just conference championship. How important is it to these schools, relatively new to the ACC, to put that first banner in the gym?
It's really important. These players want to win an ACC championship. Ann Walker wants to win an ACC championship. It's one of the few things that she has yet to do in her career. Maybe the only thing she has yet to do as a head coach in her career with Stanford is win an ACC championship. Magha Ganne here, one of the few players in college golf who has the ability to be a Pac-12 champion and an ACC champion. That is a pretty big feat that she's looking to accomplish today with her teammates.
Yeah, the senior won the 125th U.S. Women's Am, won the NCAA championship with Stanford in 2024. She is a 2-time, soon-to-be 3-time All-American, so a wonderful career with the Cardinal. Grace Jin, maybe a little sign of nerves. You have to play this right to left, and it was a straight pull off the tee for Jin, and it does find that greenside bunker. Relatively short hole, though. I guess pretty lie dependent here, Julia.
It really is. It's all about how close she got to that lip. If she draws a nice lie, she's far enough away from the lip that she can get something onto the green here. That's really all she's looking to do. This whole location is pretty difficult today. It's tucked back left, so Maya's going to have to hit a really good shot if she wants to get anything close. She's way further down there than Jin. Jin here just looking to find the putting surface, get something maybe hole high, give herself a look at birdie. It's going to be a tall task here, though, from this fairway bunker.
You could see Ortengren is all the way down that fairway. Right now, Jin probably hoping to tie the hole with a couple pars. Does not like it with the one-hand finish. And caught it a little thin, Julia.
Settle. It wasn't a horrible shot if it could have stayed just beyond. That looks like maybe an okay lie.
It's not no sand, though, so clearly she thinned it a bit and is going to have a very challenging up and down. Conversely, Ortengren, the Swede, in perfect position. Just a flip wedge in here.
You couldn't ask for a better drive from her. Slightly on the downslope here. Needs to focus on contact. I'm interested to see how aggressive she gets with the second shot of the day.
As you would expect, just a technician out there, very technically sound, leaving it below the hole, giving herself a chance for birdie, also knowing her opponent is in some trouble. Stanford maybe looking to flex their muscles in that first match of the day. ACC Championship here on the ACC Network. And welcome back. ACC Championship. Stanford and SMU. Grace Jin in some trouble here, Julia. Thinned it out of the bunker after pulling her opening tee shot. As you said, it almost looks like it's a piece of sod that she kind of scrambled on the up onto the piece of sod. So it looks to be a clean lie at this point. Just trying to make a par and put a little pressure on Ortengren not to make birdie.
That's exactly what she's doing. She's fortunate that I got on the top part of that sod piece there. It looks like a pretty good lie. Just get it close, put some pressure on that birdie putt for Ortengren.
That is going to release and take it all the way down the hill. She'll still be away. That will be for 4. And frankly, she needs to make that.
Yeah, not the start that she wanted here.
But seeing where Ortengren is for birdie.
Please welcome from Stanford, Magha Ganne.
So Stanford looking like
Mackenzie Lee.
they will go 1-up in that opening match.
Stanford has the honors this morning. Play away, ladies.
And match 2, Mackenzie Lee, the best player on SMU, taking on Magha Ganne. As I said, will be a 3-time All-American. She won the U.S. Women's AM. Incredible resume to Ganne's career.
Didn't have her best ball striking day yesterday for her standards. Intrigued to see how she hits the ball today. Missing this one a little out to the right, but a fine lie.
Well, Mackenzie Lee, when you look at SMU, the senior from Little Rock, she has a great resume. I don't think she'll be intimidated, Julie, even by Magha Ganne. She's played in Anwa. She's won the North-South. I mean, she's faced big-time opponents before and beaten them.
She really has. You don't win a North-South Amateur Championship without being really good at match play. That is a tough match play tournament, so she has experience in this format. She did lose her match yesterday, so I'm looking for her to come out strong this morning.
So they're off. Mackenzie Lee in the fairway, as we said. Grace Jin would have to hole her 4th from off the green to even really have a chance against Ortengren. And she did not make it, so really she could concede this. She just needs 2 putts, and that will do that. So Stanford goes up 1-0, taking the first hole. And that's the kind of start that Stanford was hoping for. Tough start for Grace Jin. Couple really squirrely shots.
Yeah, and you have to make a player of Meja Ortengren's caliber work hard, and she didn't have to work hard on that hole. A pretty good tee shot, a great second shot, and an easy 2-putt.
So Stanford getting off to the kind of start they wanted. We'll see if Mackenzie Lee can answer for SMU. Back after this. And welcome back to ACC Championship Sunday. Stanford, the #1 team in the country, #1 seed, taking on SMU. They were the top 2 teams in stroke play. So chalk playing out to this championship here in Wilmington, North Carolina. Let's get into the golf course a little bit, Julia. Porter's Neck Country Club, certainly. I thought it stood up pretty well yesterday. Good test.
I thought so, too. The wind was a big factor yesterday. It became a pretty big storyline. It dried these fairways out, really dried the greens out. I think the green complexes on this golf course are really the defense. It's not a very difficult course off the tee. Fairways are pretty wide. If you miss it in the rough, you can see it's been cut down pretty nicely, but these green complexes are pretty difficult.
Match 3 ready to get underway once the fairway clears. Celine Chen, the junior from Australia for SMU, taking on Andrea Revuelta, another one of the Stanford superstars. The sophomore from Spain. She won the ACC individual championship last year, but remember, Stanford did not win the team ACC last year. I'll put a circle around this one, Julia, as I think this is the must-win. For SMU to get to 3, I think Mackenzie Lee has to be part of that equation.
I think so, too. She's their best player on the team. You're playing a Magha Ganne from what we saw yesterday, who isn't playing maybe her best, not her best tee shot here either. So ball striking a little off from Meja. I think that Meja is beatable right now, and obviously she could come out today and shoot 5 or 6 under and make it pretty difficult on Mackenzie. But this is a match that SMU, like you said, needs to circle, needs to go out there and try to get a point early.
Yeah, definitely going to release coming out of the rough, and judged extremely well.
That was well done from Meja coming out of the rough. She had a great angle into that whole location from the right side over there, and that was well judged.
A super early start time, Stanford time. Hey,
very early.
That's a 6 a.m. start. I mean, that's a real thing, right?
Yeah, it absolutely is. Your body, I mean, they've had time maybe to acclimate a little bit, being that they've been here for quite some time, but you're right, it's an early tee time for them.
Now Lee keeps it below the hole, but advantage Ganne certainly as far as having the easier of the 2 putts. We'll see. That ball continues to...
Well, it needs to settle.
Yeah, that actually going to leave the putting surface and trundle down the hill. So you said tough pin location. I'm not sure any of the players realize that. I mean, that seemed to be directly on line to the pin, and it leaves the putting surface. So now real advantage for Stanford in match 2. You look at what Mackenzie Lee has done, top 50 in the WAGR rankings. Finished 11th last year at Anwa, and you could see the all-time career scoring leading average in the history of SMU. She's a stud. She's
an impressive player, and a player that they are going to rely on today. She all-conference ACC last year. She has been a great player for them for quite some time. They put her early in these groupings because they expect her to go out there and win a point. These pairings are strategic by both head coaches. They have the girls in the positions they want them in, and by sending Mackenzie Lee out here in the second match, they believe that she can go out there and get a point early.
Now, putter in hand, I'm not probably went to that putter expecting it to be a birdie putt. I'm still a little bit shocked that that managed to trundle off. I think she just realized it for the first time.
She was looking for a ball. She couldn't find it, and then spots it just off the green. And with this Bermuda grass surrounding these green complexes, what can be a simple shot, if you get something into the grain, those little chips and little pitches can become really difficult. We actually saw Andrea Revuelta yesterday putt it from out of the rough, which we were a little shocked by. So let's see what she chooses to do here. Looks like she's got the wedge in her hand. Look at that whole location right there. That's pretty tucked over there on the left side. Both SMU players missing the putting surface in these first 2 matches. Mackenzie Lee, definitely with the easier chip here, needs to get something close to put a little pressure on Meja.
How aggressive are you going to be right here?
I don't know if you're thinking make. I think you're thinking get something within 2 or 3 feet, try to get a concession, put some pressure on that birdie putt. I think if you're thinking make, you might get a little too aggressive with it. It's the first hole of the day. Just find a landing spot a couple feet onto the putting surface, let it chase out, and hopefully Meja thinks it's close enough, she'll give it to you.
Agreed. Oh, she tried to make it.
That was an aggressive little chip there, putting back up the hill, it looks like. So work left to do for her par.
And back on the tee box, Celine Chen.
Now on the tee for our 9:22 start time. Please welcome from Stanford, Andrea Revuelta. And from SMU, Celine Chen.
Okay.
Stanford has the honors this morning. Play away, ladies.
kind of a broken record when speaking of the accolades of these Cardinal players, but Revuelta, first-team All-American a year ago. The sophomore from Spain won the individual a year ago. And I will say this, from a game planning standpoint, all three Stanford players really trying to play that carom out of the right rough. It worked well for Ortengren. Magha Ganne got caught up in there, but it's a way better angle as well.
It really is. They're paying attention to where the hole location is. Stay tucked over their back left. I like what they're doing, favoring the right side of this fairway.
Now Celine giving that a watchful eye, and she pulled that as well, and that is also going to go into the bunker. So some really nervy tee shots from both Grace Chin and Celine Chen right out of the gate. You have to be right here, Julia, and both players just straight pulls left into that bunker.
Not a great angle over there from that left fairway bunker, and not an easy shot.
Now Ganne to win the hole. And she goes in the side door, so it's a birdie out of the gate for Ganne. And Stanford goes one up in match one and in match two. Let's get into the psychology now, Julia, of I get David versus Goliath, us versus the world, but that can also work if Stanford comes out and lays it down. How quickly can you maybe start to doubt whether you have any chance against this all-world team?
Well, you can't get down. You can't get 3 or 4 down to players of Meja Ortengren and Magha Ganne's caliber. They are just not going to make very many mistakes. You're going to have to shoot 3 or 4 under if you want to get some strokes back on them. So 1 down, that's not a tall task, really. I know you're 1 down through 1, but you've just got to steady the ship. Remind yourself you have a lot of golf left. You can't get to the position where you're giving them holes, and that's what Jen did on the first hole here to Meja Ortengren. Meja didn't have to really go and do anything. She had an easy 2-putt par to win the hole.
Nice bounce back here, though, for Grace. She is inside Ortengren. Couple of birdie putts here at the second. Wow, that is... she hits it, it goes in. That'll likely be conceded. Well, it will.
She just doesn't make very many mistakes, does she? She plays really, really smart, methodical golf.
Methodical, that's a great word. But a great chance here for Grace. Has a birdie putt here to win the hole and even the match. That's all you could ask for after that topsy-turvy opening hole where she hit a couple poor shots.
I really like where she left it here on the second hole as well. She's putting straight back up the hill. Not a lot of break in this. She can be aggressive with this one. Really, really good leave here at the second. This would settle her nerves if she can get this one to go, get the match back tied. Give yourself some confidence with this putter.
Back up the hill. Did she hit it? She didn't. Leaves it short. That'll be conceded as well. So they will tie the second hole with pars.
You can't. We talked about it yesterday. It's frustrating when you don't give it a chance. You're going up against a team of Stanford's talent levels. You've got to give your putts a chance to go in. When you've got opportunities, it's okay if you miss them. Miss them on the high side. Give them a chance to go in. But you absolutely need to give them a chance.
Kind of saw that with Magha Ganne at the first hole. I don't think she thought she made it, but she got it there and it went in the side door.
Yeah, it can't go in if it doesn't get there.
So now a very similar shot for Celine Chen that Grace Jin caught it thin out of this bunker. A couple things to think about. The girls, for the most part, raking their own bunkers after they hit in it. This isn't exactly Augusta National on the rake job. How much attention would you spend if you were in a bunker to the rake job you would? I mean, is it is it 50-50 whether how concentrated you are to make sure you're doing a great job?
No,
or
I'm always doing a great job.
Okay.
I have too much OCD to leave a rake mark in there. I want to leave it better than I found it, especially because if I had teammates behind me or players behind me, I wanted to make sure that I left them a good lie.
And that is bunker to bunker. So again, the door opened here in match 3. Revuelta in the fairway. Going to be coming from a great angle, and her competition's in trouble. This may be the best tee shot we've seen so far in the fairway and the best possible angle.
It's a great angle from the right side, coming to a hole location tucked just 4 paces off the left.
Methodical.
That's just so good. It seems like Stanford had a plan. They had a game plan coming out this morning. They said, this is where we're going to try to hit it in the fairway. We're going to leave it about 2 paces short, a little out to the right of this whole location. And they are just so precise, so dialed in. They're making golf look pretty easy.
So Stanford off to a great start. They will actually look to win the first hole in the first 3 matches. Talk about a dream start for the Cardinal here on the ACC Network. All right, back with you here, and SMU in some more trouble off the first hole here, as Celine Chen bunker to bunker, and her competition, Revuelta, I'd have to say about 9 feet up the hill for birdie. So again, a lot of pressure here on SMU.
You just need to hit a good shot here, and you've got to try to find a way to put a little bit of pressure back on to Revuelta. Get something close within 5 feet. Force her to make this birdie putt. That needs to settle.
Yeah, that's gone. That looked plugged.
Maybe.
Certainly the kind of shot she hit, it could have been. Got another missed fairway here at the second against Mackenzie Lee.
Was able to birdie the first hole after missing the fairway, and another good shot here.
And angles, right? I mean, another missed fairway, but another absolutely perfect angle to this hole. You could make the argument it's a better spot to be if you draw a good lie.
Absolutely, because the fairway's not penal on this golf course this week. It's cut way down. You'll draw a pretty good lie 90% of the time you find the rough.
Mackenzie Lee has found both fairways.
Bit of a tug there from Mackenzie, so she's much further out. 2 birdie putts upcoming, though.
And Kelly Sue,
Now on the
senior
tee
for Stanford.
for our 9:32 start time. Please welcome from Stanford, Kelly Sue. And from SMU, Kira St. Laurent. Stanford has the honors this morning. Play away, ladies.
Kelly, the least heralded of the Stanford starting 5. She did win, was part of that national championship team a couple years ago. 2nd team All-American. You're the 5th player on your team if you're 2nd team All-American.
It's incredible. I mean, a lot of players in NCAA, that's their #1 player, a 2nd team All-American. But this is not a schmuck by any means. I know she's probably the 5th best player on this Stanford team, but she is the heartbeat of this team, a leader, a senior.
Well, the game plan is 100% being followed nearly perfectly. And Walker, I want you guys on the right side of the rough for the fairway at hole 1, and they're now 5 for 5. Revuelta, 2 putts to win, so Stanford has done it. They will now go up 1-0 in each of the first 3 matches. She actually makes the birdie. Needed just 2 putts, but man, this is, Julia, a perfect start for Stanford, and some pressure here on the freshman Kira St. Laurent, who was very good yesterday, winning 5 and 4.
Beautiful golf swing. compact, not a lot of fluff there. And a good tee shot for SMU. They needed that one right there. But not as good of an angle. This one also finding the left side.
It's interesting. They've been on the left, 3 of the 4 on the wrong side of the fairway.
It's just a difficult angle from over there. With where this whole location is today, you've really got to take on that greenside bunker if you want to get something close on the first hole.
Now, a couple of birdie looks for Mackenzie Lee and Magha Ganne, but certainly advantage Ganne. She's 0 for 2 in fairways, but certainly missed both in the right spot. She made birdie at 1. The one thing she did do yesterday, she putted beautifully. If she gives herself a few more birdie looks, you know, she can overwhelm. As good as Mackenzie Lee is, Ganne has that ability that if she's on, she can overwhelm you with birdies.
She really can. The ball striking looks a little bit better, especially the approach shots. I know the driver's a little off, but Mackenzie Lee needs to get this one to go, or at least get it close. Try to put some pressure on Meja.
And that'll be conceded par for Mackenzie Lee, and Ganne an opportunity to go 2 up in her match. Start birdie, birdie. Really, yesterday, the first 9 holes, Ganne was happy to save par and tie holes. Today, she's given herself a couple birdie looks right out the gate.
Yes, she has. She always looks comfortable. She never looks flustered out there. She walks with a swagger about her that comes from being a U.S. amateur champion, that comes from being a national champion. The things that she has accomplished in her career give her a little bit of swag about her, and she walks on a golf course confidently. And I think when you play her in match play, you feel that. She never gets too flustered, and we saw that yesterday. She kind of just broke down Andy Smith, just wasn't giving Smith anything, making really nice par putts, and you touched on it. If she gives herself more birdie looks, she might run away with it.
Just to go 2 up through 2. And pulled that. And this hole 3 now, Grace Jin and Meja Ortengren. Lengthy birdie putt. And beautifully judged. That'll be a tap in, conceded par. But again, Mackenzie Lee needs to take advantage of one of these really good iron shots and pay it off with a 10-foot birdie.
You have to take advantage, especially when Meja makes par. She's going to make her fair share of birdies today, so you've got to get her when she makes those easy pars like that. This is now 2 really nice approach shots in a row for Grace Jin. Like you said, she has to capitalize on it. She didn't even get her last birdie putt to the hole, so I'd love to see her give this one a chance.
Our viewers may be wondering, so Julia, let's clarify. You just saw Magha Ganne miss by maybe 1.5 feet. Mackenzie Lee was nowhere near to concede, but she picks it up. How does she know it was conceded?
Sometimes you'll hear a "you're good" from across the green.
Okay.
You look up and she gives you a thumbs up. Just some type of acknowledgement that, hey, pick it up, you're good to go.
All right, this to win the hole for Lee and square the match.
Gosh, you got to hit it. And that it just peels off a little left because it's lacking a little bit of pace. I know she got it to the hole there, but if you want to take out that little last bit of break, hit it just a little bit firmer.
So a couple of missed opportunities for Grace Jin at holes 2 and 3. And this is Kelly Sue in that 4th match. Again, playing it way right. 2-3 bounces in the rough, but then caroms back into a beautiful position and a great angle. And Stanford is 4 for 4 following that game plan.
A little bit of a downslope here for Kelly Sue. She needs to keep that angle of attack. Go hit down on this ball. Maybe looking just a little right of this whole location. They're like surgeons out there. They really are. All of these shots are so well thought out. I mean, these women are very talented, but the way that they play the golf course, the game plans that Ann Walker sets out for them, that's half of the battle, is going out there and playing the right way.
So now St. Laurent from a more difficult angle and also out of what is, you know, not super thick rough, obviously, but still should get a bit of a kick. And that will release, but similar to position where Magha Ganne made her birdie.
Yeah, this is the best start for the SMU Mustangs in a match. And coming from St. Laurent, who played so well yesterday, they're going to rely on her today.
Yeah, I was there last month.
So we're at our 9:42 tee time.
Okay. Everyone seems pretty loose at the first tee.
And Emily Odwin.
All right, this is the fourth hole, the first match of the day. Meja still one up. First look at the par 3.
This hole 9 paces off the right, tucked a little behind that greenside bunker. One-handing this one. Let's see where it goes, though.
And just going to nestle on the right side of that green, but probably her heart skipped a few beats. Looks like it's okay now.
Didn't love it, but now has a good opportunity at birdie here at the par 3.
Now Grace Jin. Grace has really responded from that opening tee. I mean, I know she's still down 1-0, but she's been the better player on hole 2 and 3, just unable to capitalize with birdies.
We talked about it, how important putting will be today. You need a hot putter if you're going to take down the Stanford team. She's hit some beautiful approach shots, just hasn't been able to pay them off with the birdie putts. But this part of her game has been good this morning.
And that another beautiful shot. Will it roll out? It will.
It's going to be a hard hole location to get close to today, though, with where it is behind that bunker. That one chases out, might leave the putting surface.
Yeah. This is the second hole. Revuelta and Chen. And Chen safely aboard. We'll have a look at birdie. Again, you can see Revuelta the way down the fairway in that first cut of rough, Julia.
Really has not been bad, though, this first cut of rough. It actually can be kind of nice sometimes. Yeah. The ball will sit up a little bit for you. This hole here, this whole location tucked over there on the right side as well. Let's see how aggressive she gets. Maybe a bit of a flyer there coming out of that first cut of rough.
And that can happen, right? All right, back at the first hole now. This is Kelly Sue with the first of 2 birdie putts, her and St. Laurent. And how about that? Are you serious, Julia? A Stanford, just all players birdieing this first hole. This is wild.
I mean, they have done really, really well on the first hole.
And St. Laurent, boy, feeling the pressure now. She'll have a birdie putt as well. Our anchor match, will it get to the anchor match? Paula Martin Sampedro, the ACC individual champ at 14 under, and Emily Odwin, the senior from SMU.
Can they go 5 for 5 here using the right side of this hole? Looks like she likes it. How about that?
It's like you said, there's a game plan and they're following it.
They really are.
All right, St. Laurent must make here. That should free her up a hair. Doesn't matter if she hits it past the hole. And she pulls it a little to the left. So Stanford wins the first hole in all 4 matches. Odwin less than driver, Julia.
She's a big hitter of the golf ball. The SMU Mustangs have favored the left side of this fairway, so going with less than driver keeps it in the fairway. So good start for Emily.
So all 5 matches are off. Stanford in control, coming out of the gates with applying some pressure to the Mustangs. Back after this on the ACC Network. Welcome back. ACC Finals here. SMU and Stanford. Ortengren mishit off the tee, but okay now. Might have to miss it on this side, which would be a mishit to get it close.
You will. It's much flatter over here on the right side of this hole location. That was a birdie to win the hole. She's going to put a mark on this one, it looks like, for her par putt.
As you said, though, Grace Chin hit what probably will be a pretty common shot, little draw into this hole location. And that green does run away, so it's going to be a difficult hole today.
And did not have a very good birdie putt at all with her second. Hit it way past. Looked like that ball might have scurried off the green with her tee shot potentially. Got her second to this point, and after missing 2 birdie putts on the last 2 holes, she has another putt of a similar length, but now this is for par.
Oh, that is just a massive turn of events. She may have scalded that chip to get this far away.
This would be a statement, though, if she could get this one to go down after missing the last 2 birdie putts that she's had.
Well, there you go. Sometimes it's easier to make a par, right?
That's a big putt, though, and in stroke play, sometimes par putts can feel more important than birdie putts. That was a big putt right there.
She gave you the full fist bump. She knows falling 2 down through 3, not the way you wanted to start. A Chen now for birdie to win the hole, and yeah, she knows it.
How about that fist pump?
Yeah.
I like the energy from SMU. They are fired up out there.
And Magha Ganne just continues to make anything she looks at, Julia.
She is just such a good putter, and if she gives herself birdie looks, she will be dangerous today.
So Ganne goes 2 up on Mackenzie Lee. However, there is a little bit of spark of life from SMU. Grace Chin making a long one for par to tie the hole, and Celine Chen making a long one to win the first hole of the day for SMU and even the match with Revuelta. Odwin playing it back, less than driver off the tee, and taking advantage.
That's a good shot there. Gets it to settle nicely. Well, she'll have a birdie look at the first.
But again, Martin Sampedro playing it perfectly angle-wise.
And she hits the golf ball a mile. She is such a long driver of the golf ball. It's really an asset of her game, how far she hits it. Couldn't ask for a better angle in, just a little wedge.
The junior, also from Spain. How about her resume, Julia?
In the few years that she's been at Stanford, she has been incredible. She won the individual portion of this championship, tied her teammate Andrea Revuelta for the ACC conference scoring record this week at 14 under par.
But Odwin, the easier of the 2 putts against Sampedro, as Stanford has won the first hole in all 4 matches. Chen has bounced back with a win at 2 to tie that match. But certainly some nerves early on. We'll see if SMU can tidy things up. Very impressive out of the gate here has been Magha Ganne. She is now 3 under through 3 holes.
She has been impressive. Her approach game has been really, really good. Let's see how aggressive she gets with this tuck hole location on the right. That's a miss there. After making quite some birdies in her first few holes, that's a tug, half a club too much maybe, and she'll have her work cut out there for her.
So maybe a bit of an opening for Mackenzie Lee, SMU's best player.
Who hasn't played poorly. She really hasn't. She just hasn't made enough birdies to keep up with Magha through the first 3 holes, but she has been given a bit of a gift here, and how she responds is going to be really important in this match. Can you respond to Mega's open door, hit something a little bit closer here, put some pressure on her to get it up and down?
She plays it way out to the right, trying to bring it back, and she does. A little bit long, but certainly the better of the two shots. She'll be putting anyways.
That was a pretty good shot.
This is a second ago. Sampedro.
Oh, it's a beautiful putt. I mean, if you're not going to make it, that's what you have to do. Can Odwin respond, get this one to go down?
She certainly was given the line, and now massive problems. That could leave the green, Julia.
It's just too aggressive. I mean, that's it. You cannot do that.
So now Stanford has won, for all intents and purposes, has won the opening hole in all 5 matches.
She's going to go get a wedge, see if she can try to make it from off the green, but she has a lot to do here if she's going to tie this hole.
Of course, Sampedro's par has already been conceded, so now, simply put, Odwin has to make her chip. And Kelly Sue made the long birdie at 1. Here she is, her second at the second. Less than driver off the tee, electing to be able to spin, put some spin on an iron, but that doesn't happen as that caroms all the way to the back.
Long look at birdie coming up for Sue. Well, I mean, we've talked about it. You cannot give holes to these Stanford women.
This would qualify as giving a hole.
This would absolutely qualify as giving a hole. I mean, you have an opportunity to make a birdie. You have a good look at birdie. You put it off of the green. I mean, this is a gift if she can't get this to go down.
Yeah. So Stanford wins the opening hole in all 5 matches. Not sure we've ever seen that, Julie. I mean, it's difficult to, you know, the majority of holes are obviously tied. And Stanford managed to win all 5.
It's incredible. I mean, they played the hole just so methodically. They had a game plan. They executed it to perfection. And it's exactly the start that head coach Ann Walker wanted here.
And nerve, certainly, for SMU. Saw a lot of nervy shots. Revuelta.
Not a bad leave there below the hole. Easier putt than Chin has coming up.
So a lot of Cardinal on the board, that's for sure. Celine Chen, lone bright spot, able to actually win a hole. She's the only SMU Mustang to win a hole. She won the second to even that match with Revuelta. Now Ganne, this is her second at the par 3 fourth.
Chipping back up to an elevated green a little bit. That whole location tucked on somewhat of a mound. It chases away once it gets past that whole location. And
almost exact same thing we just saw.
Exactly. From Jen in the first match, she missed it over there. We saw where she was putting her par putt from, and we're asking ourselves, how did you get there? But we can see how difficult that pitch was from below the putting surface.
So a huge opening here for Mackenzie Lee. Has to feel, and in match play you can never assume, but has to feel a 2-putt par would at least trim off of that, cut that lead of Magha Ganne in half.
That's going to be a really incredible putt if Meja can get that one to go down. Certainly not a putt you're expecting to make, but Mackenzie Lee has to focus on her process right here. Go about your business, and this is when you kind of have to just lock in on what you're doing. You can't focus on Meja or the fact that she has a par putt, because if you tell yourself she's going to miss that, more than likely she'll make it. That's just how match play works. So focus on yourself here. Cozy something down. If it goes in, it goes in, but give yourself an easy par putt concession.
Lee for birdie to win the hole. And she'll likely, well, she'll definitely have to put a coin on that, Julia. Not the best of putts.
No, not really what she wanted there. She wanted that to be a little bit closer, so Meja felt a little bit more pressure knowing that she has to make it. Just the fact that that mark's on the ground from Meja, and the fact that Mackenzie Lee, I'm not saying she will, but she could potentially miss that 4-footer for her par, makes this putt maybe a little bit easier for Meja. It's still a tall task if she's trying to make it here.
This is actually, I think, outside of even where Grace Chin was, who ultimately made her lengthy par putt.
Well, Mega's putter has been incredible so far this morning. She has made some really beautiful birdie putts. This would be a big statement here if she can get this one to go. Right to left breaker.
A fantastic angle. And just takes the break at the end. Now SMU with an opportunity here at the second for St. Laurent to win the hole with birdie. And that slides short and low side.
Well, she'll put a mark on that one for her par. Kelly Sue still with work left for her par. Downhill putt, not an easy putt by any means, but you know that St. Laurent wanted to get that a little bit closer than that.
Chen and Revuelta currently tied, playing the third. Andrea. Good speed. That should be conceded for her par, and Chen with an opportunity to win back-to-back. Meanwhile, Kelly Sue has to likely make this to avoid that match going back to even.
And not an easy putt by any means. Downhill the whole way here. She's got to match line and speed well. Made a beautiful putt at the first for a birdie to go one up through one. This will be a tester here. Oh, up and out of that quickly. She knew it. Low the whole way.
Still away.
St. Laurent, not with an easy putt by any means. It's going to break a little left to right. It's just outside the comfort zone. So if Kelly could get this one to go down, you put a little bit of pressure on St. Laurent to have to make her par putt.
I'll tell you, if you're SMU, all things considered, losing all 5 matches on the opening hole, assuming St. Laurent gets the win here on the second with Sue, they've managed to survive that horrific start.
Ortengren not pulling away either in that first match, still just 1 up. So SMU is fighting hard. Good putt from Kelly Sue for her bogey. Touched on it. It doesn't look like they're folding over by any means. They're fighting hard in these early holes.
Birdie to win the hole now for Chen to win back-to-back holes. You betcha. Pours it in. Does Celine Chen, and SMU, Julia Johnson, now up 1.
I love her energy that she brings. She is fired up to be out there. She has associate head coach Carly Ludwig walking with her.
Now this for Mackenzie Lee to win the hole. Oh my goodness gracious.
That's a gift.
That's just a 3-putt gift. And Mackenzie Lee, we said if there's going to be a recipe for SMU to pull off this upset, you would think it would be surrounded by Mackenzie Lee, and she rough start giving that hole away.
Absolutely. Magha Ganne opens a door for you, and you hit a really nice tee shot. All you have to do is 2-putt par, get out of there, and a really, really poor 3-putt there for Mackenzie Lee. And it felt like SMU was gathering a lot of momentum for a few minutes there, for 10 or 15 minutes. They've won quite a few holes, got a couple matches tied, even took a lead in that match against Revuelta.
Ortengren and Jin, you can see Grace Jin already on the green with a birdie putt.
It's been fun to watch Meja Ortengren's wedges so far this week. She is really, really good with her wedges, has her numbers dialed in really nicely. Just a little bit of a tug there. Uncharacteristic. It looks like she might have the more difficult birdie putt coming up, putting down the hill back to that hole location.
as the wind does kick up just a bit here in Wilmington. Overcast morning. Yesterday, a brilliant sun. Odwin trying to get things back together after her disastrous first hole.
Way back of Paula Martin Sampedro, but hits a beautiful shot there to apply a little bit of pressure.
Revuelta now. This fourth hole is difficult. Just not a lot of space to land it. But Revuelta, one of the best of the day, if not the best of the day.
Absolutely, and with her playing competitor missing the green here, advantage Revuelta at the fourth.
Now Sampedro. Odwin playing back off the tee. She elected to do that at hole 1 and 2.
Beautiful shot there. She'll give Odwin a read on that birdie putt.
All right, so SMU loses the first hole in all 5 matches, but certainly gaining some momentum here on the ACC network. Birdie putt underway, and here comes SMU. Grace Jin banging in birdies from all over the joint.
And the putter's getting hot for Grace Jin. Watch out. She missed a few birdie putts at 2 and 3 after beautiful approach shots. So she does not look like she's faltering to the moment.
Now Sampedro, and as you said, she's going to give Odwin the line. I think she also gave Odwin the line at the first hole, and Emily knocked it off the green. That will not be conceded. Curious how tentative Odwin is here on
I'm intrigued too.
Her birdie putt.
Some aggressive putts out of that match.
Must make now for Ortengren to stay 1 up. And I'll tell you what, you got to give SMU a ton of credit. Jin now tied in that opening match. Chen is leading her match with Revuelta. St. Laurent is tied with Kelly Sue. So, hey, you just need 3.
Mackenzie Lee should just be 1 down to Ganne, too. So
yeah.
SMU has really turned the tides here.
And this to pull even with Sampedro.
She needs a good putt here, a good stroke to forget about what happened at the first hole. Better, but maybe a little tentative after what happened at the first.
And be surprised if Martin Sampedro missed this little one.
Always intriguing to see where the coaches go. Head coach Lauren Mason choosing to walk in this anchor match with her senior Emily Odwin.
And that hole will be tied. So Odwin stays 1 down to Martin Sampedro.
Stanford
But
4, SMU 4, Stanford remains 1 up.
SMU, if nothing else, Julie, they have survived.
They really have. It could have gone the opposite way. They could have gone down 2, 3, even 4 in some of these matches. That's what we saw from Duke yesterday. They got down big in a couple of matches and just could not mount a comeback. So kudos to SMU for how they've been fighting.
Revuelta now to win the hole and tie things up after losing the last 2 holes to Celine Chen. And she cozies that up there.
They don't make a lot of mistakes. You're going to have to win holes with birdies against Stanford.
Kelly Sue at the 3rd. Keeps it below the hole, but kind of outside that make range.
Yeah, she was hoping to get that one just a little bit closer, probably.
Well, this would be a win in itself if all things considered, the 2 tee shots and winning 2 straight holes. If Celine Chen can keep the hot putter And she blows it by. That's another gift. So that match goes back to tied as Revuelta gets the gift at 4.
We've talked about it. You cannot give Stanford holes. They have to go and win them themselves. They need to win them with birdies. If you start giving the Stanford team holes, they are just going to eat them up.
Now Sampedro. No. That's Jin. First match out at the 6th. And that's going to catch a piece and have another look at birdie as Grace Jin starting to feel a little momentum on her side.
Absolutely. She is playing some really nice golf. Played well in her matches yesterday.
Meja doesn't make many mistakes in the ball striking category.
No, certainly not.
On cue. And that's where Stanford just wears you down. There's just so few mistakes. And how many holes does SMU ultimately get to win with par? It's happened a few times for Stanford already. Championship Sunday underway. And welcome back. It is a championship match. ACC women's golf. Stanford and SMU. Neither have ever won an ACC championship. One will win it today. Magha Ganne 2 up, playing the 5th.
A touchy little shot right there from Meja. That was well done.
Well, certainly Mackenzie Lee has surprisingly, but the senior for SMU has been maybe the most nervy of the SMU players. Now, St. Laurent and Kelly Sue. And St. Laurent going to have to put a coin on that again. Just too aggressive on the birdie putt. Now Grace Jin, we know Ortengren is in tight.
Just playing for too much break there. Started that way out to the right.
Greens are quick, especially down grain.
They really are, and they have, because of the wind the last few days, how strong it's gotten in the afternoons, they've dried up a little bit. They're rolling beautifully, though. If you get it started on the right line, they're just great greens to putt on. A lot of undulation throughout these greens, a lot of slope. It's kind of the defense of this golf course. It's not a super difficult golf course off the tee. You have to be good with your approach shots, though, into the green, and you have to putt the ball well if you want to play well around here.
Now, this match saw Ortengren win the first hole. They tied 2, 3, and 4. Jin won the 5th to even the match, and now Ortengren an opportunity to go back 1 up. And she does.
That's a beautiful putt. I mean, that is just perfect pace. Starts it inside the hole on the left edge. She's going to make birdies. You have to expect it. You just have to match her when you can.
This a moment ago, St. Laurent with a bit of a tough comebacker. Really unneeded, Julie, to have this length. And it's a 360 lip out. And another 3-putt for SMU. 3 putts. And now Kelly Sue going to be gifted a win with par, potentially?
You just cannot do it. I know that we keep touching on it, but you can't gift holes to these players. Now, this is not a given by any means for Kelly, but the fact that this is a par putt here to win the hole, can't do it.
Can't do it. So Kelly Sue goes back 1 up. So just when SMU started to make a bit of a run, Stanford pouring it on. Ganne now to go 3 up. And Magha Ganne now making birdies on, she's birdied 4 of her first 5 holes. So, you know, Mackenzie Lee, yes, she has to play better. Magha Ganne has 4 birdies and tied a hole with bogey.
She's playing some incredible golf, and Mackenzie Lee just has to try to match her, make some birdies of her own.
Now Odwin. Big divot.
She's hit some nice shots. She's hitting the ball nicely. She is.
Now Sampedro, though, you talk about all that length for the ACC individual champ. All-Americans across the board for Stanford and leading now in 4 of the 5 matches again. The Cardinal won the opening match in all 5. SMU with a flurry to bounce back and take the lead in even a couple of them, but Stanford once again winning a few holes in a row here. Sampedro, huge advantage off the tee here.
She just hits the ball a mile. It's such a big asset in her game that she has so many wedges into these greens, able to put some spin on them, especially on the greens as they get firmer and firmer. Those big first bounces when you're coming in with long irons, it becomes that much more difficult. The fact that she has such short clubs into these greens is an advantage.
What a luxury it is for Ann Walker to have both back-to-back ACC individual winners out here in the finals today, trying to win Stanford their first ever ACC team championship. Kelly Sue won the 3rd hole with a par, now back 1 up here at the 4th. Tricky little hole.
It requires a really good tee shot here. You have to be precise off the tee. When you touched on it earlier, that right side is much flatter, so you bring some trouble into play, but if you can land it on the right side of the green, it stays on that putting surface. That's a pretty good shot from Kelly.
Yeah. Now St. Laurent after the 3-putt at 3. Other than that, she's been really impressive this week.
She has had a big win yesterday, has to bounce back, but a one-handed finish. Let's see where this goes.
Just a freshman.
That can stay right there. It's not that bad uphill the whole way. She's been impressive for a freshman. She's played some really good golf in match play.
Now Odwin and Sampedro. Odwin got off to the really shaky start, putting it off the green with her birdie putt at the 1st. That's really well judged, though. That'll be conceded, and Sampedro will have a putt to win the hole. Now at the 6th. Ganne 3 up in her match through 6.
She hasn't been gifted a lot. She's played some really nice golf, hit some beautiful shots. That hole high, just a little out to the left, another good shot.
Now Sampedro, this to go 2 up on her match with Odwin.
Right to left breaker here. That was never high enough.
So hole tied with a couple of pars.
She hasn't done much, just making all steady pars early this morning, but she's doing what she needs to do.
Now Mackenzie Lee, can she find something?
It starts with hitting a good shot here, trying to put some pressure on Megha. This one misses the green, but not by much. I'm be intrigued to see what she does with that. Does she putt it from just off?
Chen and Revuelta. This has been all over the place. A win for Revuelta at 1. Chen wins 2 and 3. Revuelta wins 4. So they've yet to tie a hole.
Oh, that's a pretty good shot right there. Leaves it below the hole. She'll have a chance. Chen holding her own against Revuelta, who one of the best players in the world right now.
Nearly on in 2. This is her 3rd at the par 5.
That's just so touchy.
She'll have that for birdie and an opportunity to really put some pressure on Chen to have to make the lengthy of the 2 birdie putts. And you take a look at what Andrea Revuelta, the sophomore from Spain, first-team All-American, finished 2nd at Annual, won the Thunderbird. last year's winner of the ACC. She's third in the WAG. You're absolutely talking about one of the best players in the world.
She's just a superstar. She was a superstar before she even got to Stanford and just has made her mark. It's difficult to start as a freshman on this Stanford golf team. They've just got so much talent and depth, and she was one of the best players on the team last year. Set the scoring record at this conference championship at 14 under par, won it last year, nearly won the Augusta National Women's Amateur this year. Just a really good player and a better person. She's very talented off the golf course as well. She's a fabulous pianist. She's a great artist. She's just so well-rounded, and I think that that's what Ann Walker looks for in players that she's recruiting, are well-rounded women who have great character about them, and a lot of these players have that exactly.
Now Ganne for birdie. Already 3 up. Lee off the green.
Don't look for her to be overly aggressive with this in the position that she's in. That's a beautiful putt. Misses barely high. That's exactly what she needs to do.
Now St. Laurent for birdie. And really well done. That is a fabulous putt from that position. Now Chen. So now Revuelta, another opportunity. Again, they have yet to tie a hole, and Revuelta with a nearly gimme birdie opportunity here to go back up, 1 up.
This has been back and forth, but if your Chen, I mean, it's really all you can ask for of a player of Revuelta's caliber. The fact that you keep winning a few holes here and there is a good sign, but Revuelta with an easy birdie putt here, back up the hill a little bit, not much break in this at all. She can hit this firm and take out any of that break if she wants to.
And does just that, back of the hole. So Revuelta wins back-to-back holes.
SMU 5, Stanford is 1 up.
Revuelta winning holes 1, 4, and 5. Chen winning 2 and 3. And again, Stanford starting to flex a bit, leading in all 5 matches.
Felt like for a minute there, SMU was really making a push. They tied up a lot of the matches. 2 of the matches they'd gone up and won.
Now the good news is, other than Ghana, all the matches are just 1 down, which, as we know, oh boy, Mackenzie Lee just not her day, and some frustration starting to show for the senior. Magha Ganne now 4 up through 6.
Well, that can happen in match play. We touched on it. When it's going bad, it begins to snowball, and you all of a sudden look up and you're 4 down to Magha Ganne, and that's just not a position you want to be in. The putter has not been good for Mackenzie Lee.
Now Sampedro and Odwin on the tee at 4. Tricky little hole.
It's a tough hole location today, tucked right behind that bunker.
Yeah, calls for you to hit it right at the pin, which there's just not a lot of room there.
Sampedro holding her finish. Seems like similar to the first hole of the day that Stanford had a game plan, and they're trying to execute it here on the 4th as well. They know that it's much flatter over here on the right side. That's where they've been looking.
Well, long and right takes the penalty area out of play. Let's see if Odwin can answer. 1 down.
Yeah, and her approach game's been pretty good today. A mistake at the first, but since then she's played good golf.
Big bounce.
She'll give Sampedro a read, but 2 pretty good shots.
Thank you. Good luck. Good luck. Thank you.
Odwin, the senior from Barbados. This is Revuelta. Been a fun match with Chen. As I said, every single hole has had a winner.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot. That had to look like it was all over it in the air. Just a little long, but how good is that for Revuelta?
And asking Chen to answer again. Revuelta's won 2 holes in a row, Julia.
Well, it's all about the tee box too, right? Who has the honor and who can apply the pressure. You want that tee box. They've gone back and forth quite a bit, but there's just so much more pressure when Revuelta hits a good shot like she just did. You know that she has a birdie putt. Chen's thinking in her head here, I have to respond to that. You want to be the one applying the pressure. Not a tough hole location here, though. 9 on, 5 off the right. You can get aggressive.
Chen.
That's a pull.
That's a pull. And advantage for Revuelta, looking to win 3 holes in a row and go 2 up. You know, for all the trials and tribulations, SMU, other than the Lee Ganne match, has done a pretty good job of hanging around 1 down.
They're playing really well. You have to be proud of the fight, but you go back to a few key holes with some 3 putts here and there. Odwin should be tied in her match against Martin Sampedro. St. Laurent with the 3 putt to go 1 down against Kelly Sue. So there's a few key things that you can look at. You see a lot of red on that leaderboard that the SMU girls might look back and think, if I would have just 2-putted that hole, if I would have just found the putting surface.
So Stanford, big favorite, but SMU, remember, they lost the first hole in all 5 matches, so down 1 in 4 of the 5. It's getting late early in the Lee Ganne match. Mackenzie Lee getting to the point where she needs something good to happen, needs to go make a birdie and win a hole so that she can do it.
And she looks frustrated with that putter.
Ortengren now to go 2 up.
That putter is so good. I mean, she has had birdie look after birdie look after birdie look, and she is pouring them in now. That is a confident player right there.
And she's doing it with lengthy birdies. Those are daggers, aren't they?
She's just so, like, her facial expressions never change, do they? She's so stoic. She goes about her business in such a calm way.
And now 2 up. So those first 2 matches out. Stanford, there really is no break in that lineup, but that's the beauty of what Ann Walker can throw at you and why they're going to be so difficult in the NCAAs in match play. Odwin for lengthy birdie. She will show Sampedro the way.
That needs to go.
Jeez. These gifts, the gift that just keeps giving the SMU putter, Julia.
It makes that putt for Sampedro easier because your playing competitors up there has 7 or 8 feet for her par left. She got maybe a decent read on it. It didn't get all the way to the holes, but just not making it very easy on themselves right now. They're making it easy for Stanford, SMU is.
So opportunity here to win the hole with a birdie putt, maybe even a par putt, and go 2 up.
Hasn't made a birdie yet, but has been really just solid with all pars so far. Sampedro has. That's pretty good there. Yeah. Not much work left. That might be given to her.
Now Chen and Revuelta. Celine's made some long ones.
Yeah, this one pulls hard at the right. Towards the right at the end of the hole. That's well done there. It's a good putt.
Yeah, she's been impressive with the putter. Odwin and Sampedro now. Odwin with, you said, about an 8-footer for her par. Must make, period.
You do not want to go 2 down.
And she struggled with the putter.
And that putter has let her down. She's hit the ball really nicely so far today.
Now birdie effort here for Revuelta to win her 3rd hole in a row. And
that's shocking.
Not only does she miss, but she blows it by the hole, and she may have just gifted one back to Chen. Sampedro to win with a par and go 2 up on Odwin.
Well, Sampedro is even through 4, and she's 2 up. Yeah. And that's just not the recipe for success for SMU. You have got to go out there and make them make birdies on you. They can't win holes with pars.
It's shocking to see Revuelta hit it, you know, some 10 feet past, maybe 11 feet past.
Very, very aggressive when you don't necessarily have to be. She's got the lead again against Chen. She's 1 up. You know you're playing competitors in for par. You obviously want to try to make the putt, but you can't do this.
Has to make it, or this will go back to a tied match. And again, we've yet to tie a hole if Revuelta can't make her par.
How about it? Would you expect anything less?
Stanford 3, SMU 3. Stanford remains 1 up.
So stays 1 up with the lengthy par save. Now Mackenzie Lee, 4 down to Ganne. Needs a good one, and she gets a good one. Shot of the day from Mackenzie Lee.
That's what she needed to do, steady the ship a little bit. That was a beautiful shot. Ball was well above her feet there. Judged that nicely.
Let's see if Ganne can answer. Best shot of the day from Lee. And the birdie fest for Magha Ganne.
It's harder to answer, and that's what Meja did there. That was impressive.
So 2 looks at birdie in that second match at hole 7, with Ganne leading 4 up through 6. Back after this on the ACC Network. Magha Ganne and Mackenzie Lee both hitting beautiful shots in here to 7. And a couple of birdie looks.
Magha Ganne responded exactly how she needed to here. Mackenzie Lee thought she'd stuck one in tight, maybe put a little bit of pressure on Meja. Meja responded nicely. And now the ability to go first, which it's such a big thing in match play. Can you go first, get into the hole first, and then put the pressure back on Mackenzie Lee, who has not putted the ball well today at all. She's missed a lot of short putts. So even though Mackenzie Lee hit such a beautiful shot, if Meja can get this one to go, all the pressure is back on Mackenzie Lee. And Meja has been a birdie machine so far this morning. She didn't play her best golf yesterday, still won her match against Andy Smith, but has played really, really well this morning.
Probably feels like she has to make it, though. And she does. So now all of a sudden Mackenzie Lee has to make her first birdie of the day just to tie the hole and stay 4 down. This has been definitely an iffy club in her bag all week so far. Hasn't putted well.
No, and has looked almost shocked after she's hit a few of these short putts. Whether she's not reading them correctly or just not striking them well. Something is off with this putter, but this would be a big putt here. Gets it to go, but doesn't win the hole with a birdie.
Yeah, and does seem a little deflated.
Well, you can't get yourself this far down to a U.S. Women's Amateur Champion in Magha Ganne. She's not going to gift you holes. If you get 4 down, it'll be a mountain to climb.
Kelly Sue St. Laurent is, this is her 3rd at the par 5. And again, pretty textbook from the senior.
Yeah, Stanford has played this hole well today as well, this par 5. They have been pretty dialed.
Another look at the current standing. Stanford leading in all 5 matches, and in 3 of the 4, more than a 1-hole lead. Back after this. Ryan Burback with Julia Johnson here on the ACC Network. Stanford and SMU in the final match play. One team will walk away with their first ACC championship. Right now, Stanford, one of the great, if not the best team ever assembled in the history of women's college golf. in control here in the ACC championship. St. Laurent could use this one.
Needs to get a long one to go. Still one down in her match against Kelly. Kelly had a beautiful shot into here, has a good look at birdie.
And that slides by the hole and continues to trundle out 4 or 5 feet past, maybe 6 feet past.
St. Laurent lost a hole with a 3-putt to Kelly. Putting's been a pretty big storyline today. We've seen a lot of poor putts. We've seen a lot of made long putts from Stanford. It's so important in match play. What can you do when you get on the green? Kelly looking well out to the left here, moves left to right the whole way. Can you match line and speed? She made a beautiful putt at the first for birdie.
Just to go 2 up. No doubt. Center cut. And Kelly Sue now 2 up. So now you're starting to look at the board here. Stanford now upping their lead in 4 of the 5 matches to a minimum of 2. As they're saying, it's only an hour and a half into play here. It's getting late early, Julia.
It really is. 2 up, certainly not undoable by any means for SMU, but these are really, really good golfers. These aren't golfers that are going to make a lot of bogeys in these Stanford women. They are going to make a lot of pars, and they're going to sprinkle some birdies in there. So it's going to be harder and harder for SMU the further they get down in these matches.
Now Chen and Revuelta. Been a fun match to watch just because the amount of birdies back and forth between the 2 competitors.
I like watching Chen play match play. She has showed a lot of emotion and has been very lively in her matches, and I think that can go a long way in match play. You get excited about birdies, you have a good attitude out there, it can be really important.
Unable to put any kind of spin on that. Catches the downslope and caroms through the green into that second cut. You said it, though, coming on the air, the defense of Porter's Neck is the undulations on the greens. And with these hole locations today, this is another hole. It's difficult to get it close.
It really is, especially coming out of the rough, because it's so hard to put any spin on these balls. Even a player of Revuelta's caliber coming out of the rough can't get it to stay on the green.
And it's right on the downslope, Julia. That is a nasty pin. Ortengren now with a birdie putt to go 3 up through 8.
She has started to light up here. You can see head coach Ann Walker looking on from just off the green.
She is machine-like.
She is.
Would you like to see, moving forward, would you like to see Stanford show a little bit more? That's not their game. I mean, they don't even birdies. They don't even give you like, yeah, that's a good. I mean, it's just like, yeah, that's what we expect almost.
They expect it. They really do.
Kelly Sue now 2 up. So Stanford now leading 4 up through 7, 3 up through 8. And Kelly Sue is 2 up through 5 on the green safely here at the 6th.
Doing what they need to do, not getting overly aggressive, but hitting really good shots, good smart shots into these greens.
Now it is St. Laurent that will have to answer.
Especially maintaining the tee box, these Stanford women are. And so they're applying the pressure. They're keeping the pressure down on these SMU women.
The French Polynesian freshman won 5 and 4 yesterday. And that's a beauty.
That's a really good shot there. Gets it to land really softly. Had great trajectory on that ball.
And back at the 5th, it's Odwin and Sampedro. Sampedro, boy, Stanford has dominated this 5th hole today. And they've all done just that.
Go in.
It will be a conceded birdie for Sampedro at the 5th. Now Odwin out of the bunker. Well done.
That's a nice shot there.
But we'll need to make that.
Been impressed with Stanford and how good they've looked inside 50 yards too. It's really touchy when you get this close to a green on a par 5. They've looked really good with those flip wedges.
Now at the 7th, Chen leaves it short. Let's see if Revuelta can't apply some pressure on that putt.
We saw Revuelta putt it from out of the rough yesterday.
She's putter in hand again.
She likes that play. Nearly made it yesterday from off the green out of the rough.
And suddenly, Julia, this is the only match that SMU is one down in. So Revuelta could continue, and then Stanford put some pressure on SMU. 2 leaves it short.
You have to ask yourself, could you have gotten it closer with a chip? It depends on the type of lie you get around these greens. It gets really grainy and sticky. I don't mind that play.
Odwin must make to stay 2 down to Sampedro.
Really hasn't made a putt of significance yet today. Has had a couple pretty poor 3 putts. This would be big time here just to stay 2 down. You start getting into the 3 downs and 4 downs, it becomes nearly impossible to mount a comeback against women who are as talented as these Stanford women are.
The senior started at Queens College, then to the University of Texas, now to SMU. This for birdie, and the putter continues to just completely let her down. Sampedro will go 3 up on Odwin through 5.
Her first birdie of the day, Martin Sampedro, coming here at the 5th. So just playing some steady golf, really.
And Chen must make this. Straight up the hill.
I have to think Revuelta's going to get hers to go. Misses that out to the right, and all of a sudden the putters have gone really, really cold for SMU.
And if Revuelta can make her putt, Stanford will lead in 2 or more in all 5 matches. And that emotion and energy can work the other way when you're an emotional team.
It really can. When you feel like you can't get anything going, you're missing putts, missing opportunities, that's when it begins to snowball. And it's hard to get your heart rate to calm down. I don't know if the heart rate of these Stanford women ever gets above 90. I mean, they are so calm, cool, and collected.
You wish right now head coach Lauren Mason wishes you could call a timeout, bring the girls back into the clubhouse, and you know, that's the beauty of golf. There are no timeouts. St. Laurent, really good shot to here. That's low the whole way.
Gone.
Oh my goodness, you cannot just give holes away.
And they are making it really, really difficult on themselves. And unlike Stanford, they're not making the putts inside 5, 6, 7 feet.
And the good news for her is Kelly Sue
these are both pars.
A couple of par putts here. Sue already leading 2 up through 5. I mean, we're at the point where they need to start not only making putts, they need to start winning some holes.
Exactly. This is a big swinging putt from right to left up the hill.
To avoid another 3-putt, and she's done just that. So it is a 3-putt for St. Laurent. Now Kelly Sue looking to avoid a 3-putt as well. She did not get it close.
Whenever you hear for par to win the hole, though, that's when you know your playing competitor is not playing well. And you've got to make these Stanford women make birdies to win the hole. Now, this is not an easy putt by any means. It moves right to left, but we've seen Kelly Sue make some really beautiful putts today. Made a couple really nice birdie putts. Her putter has been really good early this morning.
Her birdie putt got away from her clearly, but it likely would have showed her a little bit of the line going past.
Stanford's been good with these comebackers today. They've made a lot of putts inside 10 feet.
This to go 3 up now through 6.
That's a mistake there for Kelly, and that's a gift for St. Laurent, the fact that she's only 2 down. Frustrating there for Kelly Sue. She feels like she let one go right there. She could easily be 3 up through 6.
So Stanford dominating as many would have predicted. Sampedro. Sorry, check that. That is match 2, and Mackenzie Lee with back-to-back birdies. So able to birdie and tie the hole at 7. She is then able to birdie 8. So if nothing else, back-to-back birdies cuts into that Ganne lead, and now 3 down. Now Sampedro.
Well, it doesn't find the putting surface, but it's really not a bad leave at all. She'll have a look at birdie just off the green.
Her only birdie came on the par 5. She nearly holed out for eagle, but it's been 4 pars and a birdie, and she's 3 up.
That's just not what you want if you're SMU.
Well, this has been the best part of Odwin's game. Been a really good iron player this week. Will that continue here at the 6th? And it will. How about that shot?
Beautiful shot.
So Emily Odwin in tight as she'll look to win her first hole of the day for SMU. So Mackenzie Lee, birdie, birdie. Odwin with a short one for birdie at 6. SMU not going to go quietly here at the ACC Championship. And back with you at the ACC Championship. Grace Jin and Meja Ortengren. Ortengren with that 3-up lead through 8. And she has won 3 consecutive holes, winning 6, 7, and 8 to go 3 up.
Jin not playing bad by any means, but Ortengren just making too many birdies. She can't keep up.
And this is Jin for par, and this is outside of Ortengren's birdie putt, so more trouble here for Grace and the Mustangs. I think you could say this is a must make.
Absolutely.
And that's going to slide by. So 2 putts to win for Ortengren to go 4 up through 9.
I think Coach Ann Walker, head coach Ann Walker, is pretty methodical about putting Meja Ortengren out first. She obviously has gotten off to really good starts the last couple matches, giving her that hole. Jen is to Meja. She's now 4 up through 9, and that's exactly what you want out of your leadoff match if you're Stanford. She goes out there, she gets big leads early.
No mercy.
No mercy at all.
Now, 5th match out, Sampedro is 3 up through 5. Odwin in very close, so probably have to feel like Sampedro needs to make it, and she does. What a dagger. What an absolute dagger from Paula Martin Sampedro, the ACC individual champ, from off the green, from way downtown, bang, and now all the pressure back on Odwin, and I'm not sure how comfortable she even is from this distance now, knowing she must make.
No, all the pressure has now shifted back, and she hasn't really been great with this length of putt today either. She's missed a few short putts after a beautiful tee shot, she thinks she's in the driver's seat, and now she has to respond to Martin Sampedro.
So birdie to tie the hole and remain 3 down. And she does just that. So good birdie for Odwin. Beautiful shot off the tee.
Stanford 2, SMU 2.
Just when you think you're going to cut into that lead, though, they give you no breathing room.
The demoralizing. And this is demoralizing as well. Ortengren 4 through 9. Ganne 3 through 8. Revuelta 2 through 7. Kelly Sue 2 through 6. And Martin Sampedro 3 up through 6.
Those are substantial leads in 3 of the matches, and even you can consider the 2 up through 6, 2 up through 7. Those are substantial leads as well when you're talking about the caliber of player these women are.
And, you know, it's good time looking at that leaderboard to talk about just how dominant Stanford is. I mean, do you put them in the conversation for one of the greats of all time? I mean, they have to win the NCAA. I would assume to even be mentioned in that breath.
Well, they have to, because last year they had this exact same lineup, made it to the finals of the NCAA championship, and lost to Northwestern. So I think in order to be considered the greatest team composed of all time, you have to go and get it done. You have to get it finalized.
Another par 5. And Mackenzie Chen able to chase it up there. Now Revuelta. At the 8th.
Middle of the fairway, taking dead aim at this green, trying to chase something up there. How about this? How about landed on the green?
And we'll have that for eagle, Julia.
Just gives your opponent no room to breathe. What a beautiful shot.
All smiles. Now Kelly Sue, her second.
I mean, Stanford has really started to play some nice golf. This one scurries just off the green, but still a look at birdie for Kelly Sue.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you get it close there, though. I mean, you'd have to land it short and barely get it onto that with no pace. Now this is Celine Chen. We know Revuelta is on the green with an eagle putt, but Chen does what she needs to do there. Give herself a look at birdie and try to tie the hole with birdie.
That was a nice shot there. That was well done. Don't gift anything to Revuelta. Make her go and make that eagle putt.
Well, continuing that conversation, you know, Stanford does seem like this is a business trip. We're here to take care of business and get through April and May and cement ourselves as one of the all-timers.
All they're focused on as we enter postseason now: win this championship, win your conference championship, win regionals, head to nationals, and get the job done. They were so close last year with this exact same lineup that they had in the finals, so they know how to get to the finals of the NCAA championship. Can they get it done?
Revuelta for eagle. And she'll need to put a coin on that. She's done that a couple times now. Misjudging the speed here at Porter's Neck.
Well, she's made the comebackers, which has been good, but maybe just a little too aggressive with those first putts.
She could still be away. I guess not.
An important opportunity here, though, for Chen to go first, get in the hole first, apply the pressure back onto Revuelta, who, if she doesn't get this one to go, she's 3-putted this hole for a par. So all about the momentum swings in match play. Can you get into the hole first and apply the pressure? It's so important.
I have to believe Revuelta will make her birdie putt. And Chen rolls in the birdie and puts a little pressure on Revuelta. Chen she's been a spark plug for SMU. She won the second hole, won the third hole. She's now lost 4 straight and forcing Revuelta to make this birdie to tie.
And she's been, like you said, the spark plug, the energizer bunny for this team, and has given them a lot of energy and momentum. Revuelta with an opportunity to stay 2 up here if she can get this birdie putt to go.
Not many gifts coming from the Cardinal today.
No, they don't give gifts, and unfortunately for SMU, they've given Stanford a few gifts with the way that they have putted and a few decisions they've made.
Now Jin 4 down to Ortengren, playing the 10th. Great position off the tee.
Absolutely. This whole location all the way back today. 5 paces behind it, 4 paces off the right. Maybe she's looking for that to come down a little bit off of that slope. Unfortunately, it stays up there. That'll be a really fast putt.
Now, great view of Meja Ortengren, the sophomore from Sweden. Great angle. Maybe leave it below the hole. Let it trundle right to left.
Absolutely. Give yourself a good putt at birdie here.
Kind of like that.
I think she was listening to you.
I think she does that at every hole.
I truly believe that Ann Walker has walked her team through every single hole, location, and they have methodically decided how they're going to play every single hole.
Now Ganne for birdie to go 4 up again, and that slides by. So Ganne continues to give herself looks at birdie, but Lee dodged one there, as that was certainly in make range for Meja, but still 3 up through 9.
Has command of the match there. A little shocking considering how well Meja has played so far today, especially putted the ball.
Now Sampedro. You can see the ball of Odwin in the fairway. This from the rough. And that will release down the hill.
Yeah, you've touched on it quite a few times. It's just such a difficult hole location to get close to, but keeps it on the green. It's actually a pretty good shot.
It's about as good as we've seen. I'll be curious with Odwin from the fairway. Can she keep it short of the hole and make back-to-back birdies? Able to birdie 6. She's a really good ball striker. And she does try to play it short, and that is going to be a ridiculously difficult 2-putt.
Landed too softly for her there. Like you said, tough 2-putt coming up. She'll be first to go too.
As Sampedro looks to go 4 up through 7. And this is the opening match. Jin from off the green. She probably feels like Ortengren's going to make birdie, and probably feels like she needs to make this, Julia.
She's got to do something. Something big has to go her way to swing the momentum back a little bit to SMU and to Jen. This is a touchy little putt here just off the green. She really just needs to get it a few paces on, and that slope will take it down to that hole. Pretty well done from where she was. She'll put a mark on it, but it's hard to get it very much closer than that. seems like we've said it all day. Maja Ortengren, another look at birdie. She's left herself in the correct position time and time again. She said a few shots really close, but she's made a lot of putts from pretty much this exact distance too. So ball striking has been good, putter has been good. This is swinging hard right to left though.
This is to go 5 up. And the machine just continues. Not even a smile, not a fist pump, just go get the flag. 5 up through 10.
It's incredible. There's really not much else to say beyond the fact that it's just really impressive golf. I'd love to know what's going on in her head right now. If she's excited, if she's trying to hide her emotions at all. I mean, she's playing some really good golf.
Now Odwin. It's a nice solid 2-putt from here. Gently up over the ridge. Uh-oh. That was the concern, Julia. That's a problem.
You touched on it the second she hit it. You said that's going to be a difficult 2-putt,
yeah.
And it absolutely is. And the putter has not been her friend so far today. And you look at a Paula Martin Sampedro, whose putter has started to heat up a little bit too. This match could get away from her quickly.
So Sampedro, a birdie putt to go 4 up. Could be another one of those holes, though, where a par even wins the hole for Stanford, and they've had a few of those today.
That's not the recipe to success. If you're a team that's looking to upset the #1 Stanford Cardinal, you have got to make them take it from you, make them win it.
Left hand low, up the hill. Come on. Come on, they're showing off, Julia. They're showing off out here.
I mean, that putter has started to heat up. She got off to maybe a slower start for her standards, 5 pars in a row, and how about that? Fist pump from Ann Walker.
So now 4 up through 7. And Stanford with leads of 5, 4, 3, and 2. Ortengren the biggest lead at the 11th, 5 up.
It's just incredible. She makes no mistakes. The ball striking is as good as it gets. I mean, the contact at the bottom of the ball, she doesn't give you an opening.
How does she not win every event?
It's incredible.
All right, this is Celine Chen. Closest of all the matches against Revuelta.
She's played well today. She really has. She has fought hard. She's played well. I know she's 2 down, but she's played some good golf.
Now back at 11 with Grace Jin, junior from Huntsville, Texas. And feel for her a little bit. I mean, she's just run into one of the great players in the world. And you can't give her an inch.
You really can't. She hasn't played poorly. Just Maja has started to make a lot of birdies, made a lot of putts, and not a bad shot. I mean, just a long look at birdie, but it's so hard to respond when your playing competitor hits it within 5 feet.
Now Revuelta.
Coming out of the rough, ball above her feet here.
And that is going to release and land softly, and she'll have another look at birdie against Chen. It's Stanford domination on ACC Championship Sunday. And welcome to ACC Championship Sunday. Women's golf, SMU and Stanford. Neither team has ever won an ACC team championship in women's golf. That will change today. And Stanford, #1 team in the nation. Big favorites coming into this Sunday against SMU. They'll be big favorites to win an NCAA championship. Ryan Burr with former NCAA champion Julia Johnson, and Stanford as good as advertised, Julia.
They really are. And the question really has been, how well will they play in match play? They've played a few match play events this year, have yet to win. But they came out yesterday, looked very dominant, and they look even more dominant today.
This is Grace Jin for birdie. She finds herself 5 down through 10 to Meja Ortengren, one of the great players in the world, sophomore from Sweden. Jin for birdie.
Gotta go.
And it does from way downtown. Bang, Grace Jin. Maybe that's what it takes to win a hole against Meja Ortengren.
You need something like that to go your way when you're trying to mount a comeback like this.
Now the machine, every time she has needed to make one today, she has. That's how you build a 5 up through 10 lead.
This club has been really, really good today. Every club in her bag has been really, really good today, but she's putted the ball nicely.
But a different kind of pressure now as she has to make.
Beautiful shot in, going about her routine, business as usual. You notice the best players in the world stick to a routine time and time again. They don't let the moment falter them.
This to tie the hole with birdie and stay 5 up. And slides by low side. So Grace Jin wins with birdie, and Ortengren now 4 up with 7 holes to play. So Grace Jin will need more of that, Julia.
Well, that's just a great example of match play, though. Who can get into the hole first? If Grace Jin misses that, I guarantee you there's a pretty good chance Meja Ortengren makes her putt.
Revuelta now to go 3 up. And they will tie the hole, Will Chen and Revuelta. And Revuelta will stay 2 up through 9 on Celine Chen. Certainly both of these schools late newcomers to the ACC. And we'll continue to talk about Stanford and their legacy as they put 5 great players on one team. 5 individual wonderful players that are now forming a team with the great coach Ann Walker. Let's take a look at some of the highlights, and certainly Meja Ortengren first out for Ann Walker at Stanford, and she's certainly one of the great players in the country. Here she is at 10 for birdie. And she's been a birdie machine. And as we said, 4 up with 7 to play. Magha Ganne and Mackenzie Lee. Now, interesting, Stanford won the first hole in all 5 matches. Ganne with the lengthy birdie side door for bird.
Gosh, I almost thought she didn't get it there.
Now at the par 4, already 4 up through 6. Meja looks to continue to apply the pressure.
Just another beautiful shot there. Responded nicely after Mackenzie Lee hit a nice one in too.
So Mackenzie Lee would make a couple of birdies to dig into that lead. Here she is at 7. Still 4 down. And that's as good as we've seen at 7 all day. Celine Chen, last year's individual champ in the ACC for Stanford, Andrea Revuelta. And there's just no breaks in the lineup with Stanford. It's an All-American in all 5 spots.
You could argue that their best players in the middle of the lineup right there in Revuelta.
Now Celine Chen trying to answer, and she does. She's been the emotional lift for SMU, hanging in as best she can with Revuelta. Kira St. Laurent, the freshman for SMU, but Kelly Sue, as I said, that first hole was a beauty for the Cardinal. Makes the long birdie putt. And now at the par 5, this 5th hole, another one that Stanford's just dominated.
They had a great game plan coming into today, and they executed the game plans nicely at 1 and 5. Played both of those holes really well.
The anchor match, Emily Odwin, the senior for SMU, but taking on the individual champ, Martin Sampedro. That would have been for eagle. It would be a conceded birdie, and then this was, boy, this was a backbreaker from birdie from off the green, and Sampedro rolls it in with authority.
That putter starts to heat up. She is a dangerous player.
And Sampedro now finds herself 4 up through 7, and they're going in from all over.
They really are. Once she got it going, she broke the seal. She said, how about it? I'll birdie it from anywhere now. And that can be deflating when you're playing against her.
So 4 up with 7 to play in the opening match. Ganne 3 up through the opening 9. Revuelta 2 up through the opening 9. Sue 2 up through 7. And Martin Sampedro 4 up through 7. Stanford has been incredible. They've had the foot on the gas. SMU has given a few holes away with 3 putts, which, if you're trying to pull off one of the biggest upsets in the history of the ACC championship in match play, you can't give them away. This now, Sampedro 4 up through 7, trying to take advantage of all that length on the par 5s.
That's such an asset for her, how far she hits it off the tee. Not able to find the putting surface, comes up just a little short.
Ganne and Mackenzie Lee. Meja in some trouble here. This is her 3rd at the par 4.
And trying to use that slope coming off the right side of the green, but just doesn't carry it far enough. That's a long look now for her par.
And Mackenzie Lee starting to work her way back into this match. Is it too little too late? She made back-to-back birdies, and she is birdied 2 of her last 3 holes, and will have an opportunity to cut into that lead to 2. Remember, she trailed 4 down through 6, but Mackenzie Lee digging herself out. You like to see the fight?
I love to see the fight. It can go a long way. Even if you don't win today, it can give you some confidence in yourself.
Now Odwin's 3rd against Sampedro.
Sampedro went for the green and 2, comes up a little short, but a good shot from Emily Odwin gives herself a look at birdie.
Yeah. Now, Mackenzie Lee, this for birdie. This would win the hole, but Ganne still well away, so just nestling it up there. That won't be conceded.
And she hasn't been great from that length today. She's missed quite a few short par putts, short birdie putts, so that not in by any means, but Magha Ganne with a long look for her par. Moves right to left the whole way.
Porter's Neck Country Club in Wilmington, North Carolina. Wind just started to pick up. Yesterday, brilliantly sunny day. Today, overcast. Ganne for par. And boy, if Mackenzie Lee can steal one here and find herself just 2 back through 10, that would be a minor victory in itself.
It really would.
Coming off her win at the last hole, Grace Jin, long birdie putt at 11, looking to continue to apply some pressure.
You can see Meja about 20 or 25 yards ahead of her here. Grace Jin with the ability to go first, though, and like you said, apply that pressure coming out of the first cut. It looks like she has a really nice lie into an accessible hole location.
Doesn't love it.
Just loses it out to the right, and really not what you want to do when you're 4 down. You've got to stick that in tight and keep the pressure applied to Meja Ortengren.
So now Ortengren pushes her drive way up this narrow fairway at 12. She makes very few mistakes. Everything is so textbook, so fundamentally sound, so technical.
She's so good with these wedges, too. She's taking dead aim here. Would not be surprised if this is close.
And below the hole, shocker.
How about it? I mean, she leaves it in the right spot 95% of the time. She's, like you said, so fundamentally sound. There's a plan for everything, and she executes it nicely.
Now Mackenzie Lee, gifted one where if she can make this par putt, and she does, and there you go. First time today, Mackenzie Lee, the best player on SMU, showing some life here against Magha Ganne, and suddenly Ganne, leaking oil, has lost, 2 of the last 4 holes.
St. Laurent, only 1 down through 8 now, so SMU kind of trending a little, maybe they're fighting a little bit in the middle of these matches.
Celine Chen, she's 2 down.
Oh, trying to use that slope. It stays up in the first cut, but it's not a horrible shot. She'll have a downhill putt from right there for birdie.
Whoever wins 3 matches wins the ACC championship. Revuelta doesn't like it.
Not horrible. Long putt. She'll be first to go here. Breaks right to left the whole way.
And Julia, if you're trying to find a way for SMU to get 3 points, there is now a pathway. Odwin for birdie.
How about it?
Now Sampedro to stay 4 up. And she makes the birdie. So stays 4 up. Good job by Odwin. That match probably not part of SMU's plan. What is part of the plan
4, SMU 4,
would be
Stanford
match
is
2,
4 up.
3, and 4. That's how SMU wins the ACC championship and shocks the world. Currently 2 down, and 1 down. Would have to flip all 3.
That's how they won yesterday in the semifinals against North Carolina. They won their 2nd, 3rd, and 4th matches. So they know how to do it in the middle portion with their 3 girls in the middle, but it is a tall task against some really talented players.
A similar putt for Jin as she made birdie at the last.
Can she do it again? Can she make a long putt here? Apply the pressure to Meja. Oh, she tried. That was a good effort. Chases out a little bit, though.
Had to.
Had to give it a chance.
I mean, you remember, she's 4 down with just 7 holes to play, so even having the hole doesn't do her a whole lot of good. So went for it. Kelly Sue now, all of a sudden, she's just 1 up. Beautiful shot.
That was well done there.
Now Ortengren to go 5 up. With 6 to play.
And she has had birdie look after birdie look after birdie look today. Missed 1 at the last, but her putter has been really hot today as well. Looking a little out to the right here. Oh, too high.
Yep. So she'll be conceded the par, and Jin will try to make her par putt to stay 4 down with 6 to play. Quickly, that Lee Ganne match is becoming the most important match on the golf course. If SMU's best player could come back, Julia, from 4 down and put a point on the board.
You touched on it earlier. You said that's going to be an important match today for SMU.
Jin for her par, and she'll tie the hole with Ortengren, assuming Meja Yep, indeed, that's conceded. So 4 up, 6 to play in the opening match. So another look at the leaderboard. Stanford leading all 5 matches on the golf course. But in the last half hour, SMU showing life, showing signs, and most importantly, showing a pathway. Unlikely for sure, but a pathway nonetheless to shock the world and win an ACC championship. Welcome in here, our ACC Network studios. Ryan Bird, Julia Johnson, who won a national championship at Ole Miss. I'll tell you, Stanford, we've talked about it, dominating team, one of the great teams of all time. But SMU in the last half hour, Julia, is showing a pathway that they could pull this off.
Absolutely. It'll be a tall task if they do mount a comeback against this Stanford team, but have to be proud of the fight that they have had. Head coach Lauren Mason has to be proud of her girls and how they are fighting out there against a very talented team. This Stanford team has not made very many mistakes today. They've made a lot of birdies, but if head coach Lauren Mason can get these matches to the latter half, get them to 16, 17, 18, I know she'll be proud of her girls.
And quickly, let's touch on what Stanford is trying to do. This is a collection of, in the conversation for the greatest team ever assembled ever, 5 players that are all All-Americans in their own right.
Yeah, all 5 of these women would be the #1 player on any other team in the country. That's how good this team is. Head coach Ann Walker has to be proud of the way that she recruits these women to be a part of her team. She's got 3 or 4 women back home that could also play as the one on any other team. So it's pretty impressive stuff, but she needs to get it done in the postseason. She had this exact lineup last year in the finals of the NCAA championship. They couldn't win that championship. Northwestern won. So you need to get it done. If you want to be considered the best team of all time, it doesn't matter how good your rankings are, you've got to get it done.
You have to get it done, win an ACC championship. Remember, Stanford's never done that. They've never won their conference championship, relatively newcomer to the ACC, but nonetheless. This is a huge match. For my money, this really is where SMU must put a point on the board. Ganne has allowed Mackenzie Lee some life. This for birdie to win the hole.
Great look here. This just kind of steady the ship for Magha Ganne. She needs this one to go to give her some confidence back. And cannot. Blows it past.
And that won't be conceded. So still away. Now this is Kelly Sue. Beautiful shot at 9. Can she convert?
A quick little putt here. Pulls hard to the left at the end. Can she play it high enough?
She's just 1 up. Plays it way outside. Let it come back and drip in. What a putt.
That was really, really well done. That's a hard putt to make right there.
So Kelly Sue goes 2 up. So now those 2, 3, and 4 matches, a 2-up advantage for Stanford in all 3. Again, SMU must flip all 3 matches. Revuelta to tie and stay 2 up on Chen. And she misses, so that is trimmed to 1. So suddenly Ganne misses a putt. Revuelta misses a putt.
Stanford 5, SMU 4.
And now this for Ganne to just tie the hole and remain 2 up. She's been rock solid from this length and pours it in.
Leaking oil just a little bit, but these are significant leads these women have had. So still a tall task for SMU, but they are fighting hard.
Yeah, 2 up in matches 2 and 4, 1 up in match 3. Those are the matches that matter now. 2, 3, and 4 in the ACC Women's Golf Championship. Fifth match out, Emily Odwin, the senior for SMU, Paula Martin Sampedro, the junior for Stanford, that won the ACC individual. Odwin has really been impressive striking the ball. Just her putters really let her down today.
She really has. She hits the ball so high, and on firm greens like this, it's such an advantage. But you said it, the putter has let her down.
Now Sampedro, 4 up. Odwin with a good one on board. And advantage Odwin.
Let's see if she can make a putt. Paula Martin Sampedro has made a few putts of that length at the last few holes.
And now Chen. Celine has represented herself well this week, but that is Not the one she needed.
No, not where you wanted to miss it. Now you're short-sided coming out of the bunker. That was not the play there.
And Revuelta, who has lost a couple holes here to Chen, has an opening where, again, are you going to be able to win a hole with par?
Well, the game plan here is a little bit right of this hole location. It's tucked over there on the left side. You've got to get really cute with the bunker.
And safely aboard, and especially where your opponent is, kind of textbook.
That's all she was looking to do right there. That's exactly where she wanted to hit it.
Now Ortengren looking to close out Jin. 4 up, 6 to play.
So location all the way back left today. Just a wedge in her hand.
And didn't seem to love it after contact.
It's just okay, though. If that's your miss hit right there, that's pretty impressive.
Subpar by her standards, though. Now, Jin way down here, Julia.
Yeah, surprised by this tee shot. Maja is such a long driver of the golf ball, so great tee shot by Jin, and maybe a little bit of an opening here. Try to get it inside Maya's ball. Give yourself a good look at birdie.
With, 6 holes to play, 4 down. We saw it at the 12th. She can go all or nothing. She knows Ortengren is in for par, has to make birdie here.
And no reason to look anywhere other than right at this hole location. It is a go zone here. And hits it outside of Maja Ortengren. So not what she needed there. She'll give Maja maybe a little bit of a read almost.
Yeah, and tying the holes, that Ortengren is fine with that. 4 up with 6 to play. She'll have to make another one. Sampedro now at the 9th. Odwin in pretty tight for birdie. Sampedro.
She's made a lot from that length, and that's another beautiful putt. Pay attention to how her balls miss. They miss, a fraction of a ball high and just slightly past. It's exactly how you want to be hitting those putts.
On the upslope, that very fortunate for Chen. That unfortunate, short-sided, about the best she can do. She's going to have to make that. And, when Stanford's winning holes with par, that is when things can get out of hand quickly. Odwin now. Sampedro in for her par. And Odwin will make par as well and remain 4 down.
And it's a good putt. Just you've gotten yourself in a hole 4 down. You have to make those.
Revuelta, birdie to win. Might be able to win it with par. We'll never know. She makes the birdie from downtown. And Revuelta goes 2 up through 11.
Just when you think you're mounting a comeback, she goes and does that. It's pretty impressive stuff. They're not getting overly aggressive to these hole locations. They're just making putts from outside 20 feet.
So match 3, 2, 3, and 4. Stanford leading by 2 in each. SMU must flip all 3. Welcome back. ACC Women's Team Championship. Stanford, #1 team in the nation, big favorite coming in against SMU, leading in all 5 matches. Ortengren first out, first team All-American, one of the best players in the world. For birdie, and nearly holes it again.
The way that Stanford misses their putts is impressive as well, because they all really seem like they have a chance to go in. It's exactly what she needs to be doing. 4 up with 5 to play.
Yep. From this point on, tying holes is fine for Stanford. Ganne and Lee. Maybe the most pivotal match on the golf course. Ganne has been a little bulky with the putter as of late. but putting herself in position and again forcing Lee here to hit one close. That was a moment ago. This is live now. Mackenzie Lee, SMU's best player.
She needs to be taking dead aim here. Try to get it inside of Magha Ganne. It's a pretty good shot right there. She'll have a downhill putt coming up. I think I would prefer Magha Ganne's putt back up the hill, but 2 good looks at birdie coming up now.
So again, you've never seen Stanford or SMU as a winner in the ACC Women's Golf Championship. Florida State, a winner last year. Wake in the even numbers, Clemson and Duke back in 2021. We'll get a new champion today. And Stanford looks to be sizing up their ACC championship rings. Ganne and Lee. Can Lee flip one more here at 12 with a birdie and a Ganne par?
I like the fact that Magha Ganne is going first here. If you're Megha, go first. Get in the hole first. Put some pressure on Lee. Try to get your lead back up to 3 up. It's, in my opinion, the easier of the 2 putts. You're putting back up the hill. You can be a little bit more aggressive with it.
And she drains the birdie. Another dagger. This time it's from Magha Ganne, forcing Lee to make her birdie to stay 2 down. Well, you look at Stanford. They played 6 stroke play events. They won 5 of them.
It's incredible. They're just so dominant. You look at it. If they were to play stroke play in a national championship format or a conference championship format,
Couldn't be beaten.
It can't be beat. We saw what they did this week. They won by 11 strokes in stroke play.
And Mackenzie Lee with, as you said, Ganne putting first and able to send the message with the birdie. Now 3 up through 12. And that idea of SMU flipping matches 2, 3, and 4 becomes that much more difficult. St. Laurent and Kelly Sue, both with birdie attempts here at the 10th. The freshman for SMU, she's shown us a lot this week. Won her match 5 and 4 in the semifinals yesterday, Julia.
She was very, very impressive yesterday. Made a lot of putts and really not playing horribly today. Has actually had a few 3 putts. She's 2 down. If you take those 2 3 putts she had away, she's tied in this match against Kelly Sue. This is a long look here. This will test that putter.
Really well done. Will it stop? It will. Excellent lag putt.
I mean, if you take away those 2 3 putts she had that were gifts to Kelly, she's tied in this match. So not playing horribly, just not really doing what she needed to do. Kelly made a beautiful putt on their first hole of the day to take a 1-up lead through 1 and has really never looked back.
And she conceded the par, so Kelly knows she has a birdie putt to win and go 3 up through 10. Same thing just happened with Ganne and Lee. Kelly made a bomb back at 9, played it way outside. Very little pace, allowed it to just drip in, Julia. This back up the hill will have to be hit with a little more pace.
Yeah, I like the way that she's putted today. It's been really impressive. She hasn't gone out and played maybe to Maya Ortengren's caliber today, but she's done exactly what she needed to do. She's a steady presence on this Stanford team, and she's made some beautiful putts. Like you said, she can be a little bit more aggressive with this one here.
To go 3 up.
Oh, she needed to be more aggressive. It peeled right at the end and just lost a little bit of momentum, so she ties the hole.
So she stays 2 up through 10. Chen and Revuelta. Revuelta 2 up through 11. little unfortunate there.
Look at that slope that just pulls it away. These hole locations are precisely placed to make it pretty difficult to get anything close to them. You have to hit a really nice shot.
Celine's been really good for SMU. She's put up a great fight against Revuelta. That's what they do.
You just pay attention to where Stanford hits it. They hit it in the right spots on the fairways and the greens.
So the Cardinal looking to put that first ever ACC championship in the rafters, leading in all 5 matches. Welcome back. Ryan Bird, Julia Johnson, ACC championship here. Stanford in control against SMU. Now, Julia, you won an NCAA championship. We've heard in match play the hardest part of match play is to close your opponent out. Stanford now has that task. They've proven they could do everything else. How difficult is it to just shut the door?
Depends on how well the team you're playing against is playing. To me, it seems like SMU is making too many mistakes, and Meja has just played really smart, quality golf today. I mean, we've seen it all day. She's had looks at birdie like that all day today. I mean, and we're surprised she missed this fairway because she's hit every fairway. And so it can be hard to close. I don't think it's going to be hard for Meja to close this match out. She's just playing too well.
So she is 4 up with 5 to play. She could close it out right here with a victory at the 14th and put the first point on the board. Sampedro, she's only on hole 10, but she is 4 up. Odwin is on the green, but nothing like Sampedro. That'll be a gimme birdie at 10. And Sampedro, if Odwin can't make her birdie, goes 5 up through 10, and that would be the largest lead on the golf course. Chen and Revuelta. Chen for birdie.
Up the hill the whole way. Get it there. She did, just not high enough.
So it looks like they will tie that hole potentially. You saw the par putt coin of Revuelta.
Just a little bit of break in this one here. Might play it right edge. Pulls a little left. Just outside of that comfort zone that you would want to give it to your playing competitor, especially when you're 2 down like Chen is.
And she slides it in. And she'll pick the coin up of Chen, and they will tie the hole. And Revuelta's 2 up, and they'll head to 13.
It's funny how it's just comforting to have that coin on the ground when you're putting, isn't it?
Now Ortengren and Jin looking to put the first point on the board for Stanford. Win here at 14. And she will do that. That will be the end of this opening match.
We've seen Jen make a long one from long range at the 11th. Can she do it again? Try to put some pressure back on Meja. It'll be a tall task here.
If Stanford goes on to win this and then win the NCAA championship, does a player like Ortengren think about taking her talents to the next level, or do you think she stays the whole way through?
I think she stays the whole way through. A lot of these players on the Stanford team are very focused on their academics as well. They're very, very smart women, and they value a degree from Stanford highly.
This is Jin. I tell you, Grace Jin, she shouldn't hang her head. She put up a fight against a player that's just frankly better than her, but she goes for it.
Yeah, she's fought very hard. She actually got this match tied back at the 5th hole, but Ortengren making too many birdies for her.
Now Odwin has to make this birdie putt, as Sampedro has already been conceded her birdie. So this to stay 4 down. This to stay 4 down. And how about that? Emily Odwin from way downtown.
Finally gets a putt of significance to go. She's missed quite a few putts today, but gets a fist bump from her head coach.
Well, she owed Sampedro one. All right, this to win the match and put Stanford's first point on the board.
Pulls right to left the whole way. Can she match line and speed here?
And catches a piece of the lip. Pretty good putt. That's conceded. And now Jin will have her par putt to take it to the 15th. Dormy.
This is not a gimme by any means, especially when you have to make it to keep playing golf. A little bit of added pressure here. Keep it inside the cup, hit it firmly. Doesn't matter if you miss it, how far it goes past.
And drains it. So we will get to 15. A win or a tie for Ortengren at the 15th will put Stanford's first point on the board. Does the inevitable ever sink in as a player, Julia, or do you protect yourself from ever going there?
Protect yourself a little bit, I think.
St. Laurent, 2 down to Kelly Sue. Now, Kelly was only second team All-American last year.
Only. She stays in her own little bubble. It can be very easy to begin to compare yourself to your teammates and what they're doing both globally and at Stanford. And she just has such a great demeanor about her. I've really enjoyed interviewing her and kind of talking to her. She's very humble and she just goes about her business. But if you ask any of her teammates, she really is a heartbeat of this team. She's been there for so long. She's seen a national championship. She played great in the national championship that Stanford won in '24. So she is a solid player and she should not be overlooked.
Now, homegrown, Claremont, California.
Needs to go. Was on a good line.
A couple of birdie putts here now for Mackenzie Lee and Magha Ganne. And Lee just powers it through. She's done that all day.
She's been frustrated all day.
Yeah.
She really has.
And this now, Magha Ganne could put 3 Stanford matches at 4 up.
She's kind of let Mackenzie Lee hang in
Hanging
around, but a win at 12 gets her back to 3 up. A great birdie at the 12th. This would be another great birdie here to, I don't want to say slam the door, but
yeah, this is probably
up.
Slamming the door.
Yeah.
3, there's a chance for, probably not so much, because it would be 4 with 5 to play.
That is a tall task against a U.S. Women's Amateur champion.
Let a couple of these slide away on the back 9, but not here. 4 up, 5 to play. So match 1, 4 up, 4 to play. Match 2, 4 up, 5 to play. Stanford starting to feel it just a bit in pursuit of that first ever ACC championship. And welcome back. ACC championship, Stanford and SMU. Stanford, as predicted. The march is on. The inevitable seems to be now in the clear that Stanford is going to win their first ever ACC team crown, winning all 5 matches. This is Revuelta, last year's individual champ at hole 13.
Maybe just a little short for her standards, but not a bad shot.
You know, of all the Stanford All-Americans, Revuelta may be the most underwhelming today. This is Odwin. She's shown a spark here. It's taking a lot of birdies to just tie the holes with Sampedro.
Yeah, Odwin making a really long putt at the last, but still, like you said, just a tie because Sampedro made a birdie as well.
So another look at your leaderboard. Jen out of holes would have to win out to force a playoff. Mackenzie Lee almost in the same boat. Celine Chen really hanging tight with Revuelta and St. Laurent and Kelly Sue. A lot of holes to play. And Sampedro up 4 in the anchor match. Revuelta now. Okay, they're just getting an observation here, Julia, of the green complex because the shot's going to come from on the other side of the cart path.
And this 13th hole, not a very long hole at all. It was actually drivable yesterday. So you've seen players kind of push it up. Stanford has elected to lay it back today. Revuelta with a long putt for her birdie. But Chen going up, trying to take a look at the green complex, decide where she's going to land this ball. She has a lot of green to work with because of where this hole is located today, all the way back left.
ACC Women's Championship. Stanford, the dominant team in the nation all season long, finds themselves leading all 5 matches. This is Celine Chen. A really good shot.
Yeah, aggressive, gets it all the way back to the hole. I like that play right there.
So opportunity possibly for Chen to cut the lead to just 1 from Revuelta. A couple birdies. Looks for both Sampedro and Odwin at the 11th.
Oh, it looked like she was going to do it again, didn't it? What a beautiful putt.
So tap in par for Sampedro. It'll be conceded. Now Odwin try to cut that lead to 3. Ortengren looking to close out Jin. And that is one of the very, very, very rare complete mishits we've seen all week from Meja Ortengren. That was not at all what she was looking to do or what we've seen from her. So a wild errant shot, something she hasn't, again, trying to close it out. This is Odwin. And boy, I thought that looked good. So that hole will be tied with pars.
Oh, it's a beautiful putt. She's just running out of time now.
Now St. Laurent in some trouble here at 13. This for birdie. And nearly jars it, but that will set up the table for Chen to cut the lead to 1.
Oh. What a beautiful putt. These long-range putts for Stanford have been really, really good. Their demeanor does not change, does it? They keep that stoic look for all 18 holes.
Revuelta, first team All-American, sophomore from Spain. Won the ACC Individual Championship stroke play last year. Sampedro, her teammate, wins it this year. Now Chen to cut the lead to 1. From the get-go, Celine, after a poorly played first hole, won the second hole and the third hole. And this to fight back to within 1.
This would be a really nice up and down from beyond the cart path. Oh, she needed that one. Work left to do now for her par, it looks like.
And Revuelta will want to see that here at 13. Now needs to make this to stay 2 down. Pretty routine, should be pretty elementary.
And not much to this at all here, maybe just right center.
So the hole is tied with pars. Revuelta stays 2 up with 5 to play. Now really, probably her worst shot of the week off the club of Meja Ortengren. Now has this for her third at the par 5.
No, would not be surprised if this got within 10 feet, though. Trying to chase it up coming out of the rough. That's a pretty good shot right there.
So even with the mishit for her second, gives herself a good look at birdie. Remember, she just needs to tie the hole to put that first point on the board for the Cardinal. Grace Ginn, the junior from Huntsville, Texas, won the Texas Amateur in 2024.
Pushed it way further up here. Hit a nice second shot to get it nearly green high.
Her ball, which is on the
So
right.
this would be for an eagle 3 from off the green. And might need to make it. I mean, probably Ortengren 50-50 from that range for birdie. A tie, and that would be the end for Grace Ginn. Has to win the hole. Does that change your approach here or no?
I think she knows where she stands. She obviously knows that it's more than likely improbable that she wins this match. So in my mind, I'm finding a spot that I want to land it on the green, and I'm just trying to execute the shot. Try to make it, obviously, but just try to hit a good shot here.
And that gets away from her.
And now she had the advantage with the thirds, but in my opinion, I take Maya's birdie putt over hers. She's putting straight down the hill.
Well, you also have to look at it that, again, it's a tie ends everything.
Doesn't do
So
anything for you.
They both 2-putt, it's over, or if Ortengren makes this putt, it's over.
I understand the play of going high there, maybe a little firm, trying to give it a chance to go in, but that was way too high with the chip there. Really never had a chance, and now you need to get this one to go. Let's see who goes first here. Looks like it will be Ginn, which if I'm Ginn, I like that play. Go first, try to get it into the hole, put pressure on Maja to make hers.
If she misses, essentially, that's that.
Yeah, exactly. There's no way in any world that Maja Ortengren 3-putts from where she is right now.
No. You can see the sharp change in the grain. Downhill.
This isn't an easy putt by any means. And sometimes I prefer to putt downhill because you have to just get it started on the line, and the contours of the green do the rest of the work for you. Get it started high enough and just give it a chance to go in.
To have a chance of extending the match. Nope.
God, you have to hit it. You have to give it a chance. It's so frustrating. She's frustrated with herself. I guess you make Maja hit this first putt. I mean,
Yeah, that'll be the first point on the board for Stanford. Ortengren just needs to cozy this up, and that'll be the end of match 1. They will not reach the 16th hole. Stanford leading match 2, 4 up with 5 to play. Match 3, 2 up with 5 to play. Match 4, 2 up with 7 to play, and Sampedro is 4 up with 7, 8 to play in that anchor match. That's that. First point put on the board, and what a show all week from Meja Ortengren. She is a superstar, Julia.
she is. She does everything really well.
And a smile.
There we go.
Thank you so much. Awesome to watch you. It was
awesome to watch you.
Thank you so much.
That was
Thanks for your
buzzsaw.
She's a very kind girl from Sweden. A great player, gives her teammate a hug.
Okay, give me.
Couple looks for birdie with Ganne and Mackenzie Lee. Meja up the hill, trying to lag it in. Oh, and around the hole and back. That is 360 lip. That'll be conceded. What a putt. Nearly jarred it from off the green. And yes, this is has to make this to stay on the course. It can happen that quick. Already a point on the board for Stanford. If Lee cannot make this birdie putt, no, she will be 4 down with 4 to play. Correction. This to go pull within 3. Should they tie with pars, she will be 4 down with 4 to play. This to win the hole.
She's been frustrated. We've seen it since the early goings here. The putter has just let her down a little bit. She's run into a really hot Magha Ganne as well, who's made a lot of birdies today.
So Ganne now 4 up, 4 to play. Much like Ortengren will just need a tie at the 15th hole. And that will be point number 2 for Stanford, as the inevitable has indeed sunk in. I think the real question now is, where does point number 3 come for Stanford? Is it Revuelta, Sue, or Sampedro? Sampedro in that anchor match well behind her teammate Revuelta, but I wouldn't be surprised if she put a couple together here. I mean, she's that caliber.
Absolutely. They come in bunches. It feels like Stanford's kind of just running away now.
So now Sampedro at the par 4 12th. This is her second. And that is not on tape, folks. That was it's exactly kind of what we said was going to happen. So Odwin really feeling the pressure here from the rough. And she hits another beauty.
She has had really great ball striking today. She's hit some beautiful shots, just hasn't been able to capitalize on them with her putter.
Now Chen and Revuelta. Revuelta looks to be way down the fairway here, Julia, and Celine has found the fairway bunker.
Fortunately for her, really not a lip to contend with here. It looks like she's drawn a pretty nice lie. So this is about as basic gets when you're coming out of a fairway bunker. Remember to just keep your hips steady, not a lot of movement in the lower body. Finds the front of the putting surface there, so pretty good shot, but still advantage Revuelta with where she is in the fairway.
To Revuelta. 2 up, 5 to play. Odwin must make. And leaves it short. Had the right line, not enough speed, and Sampedro a putt here at 12 to go. 5 up. 5 up with 6 to play. This is Revuelta's second from the fairway.
That's just such a beautiful shot. I guarantee you that's exactly where she was trying to hit it, with that water on the left. Well executed there.
Sampedro to go 5 up with 6 to play. And no doubt. So 5 up, 6 to play is Sampedro. 1 point already on the board. Ganne is dorming. We are creeping closer to the inevitable, a Stanford Cardinal ACC championship. And welcome back. ACC Championship, Stanford and SMU. Stanford, the #1 team in the nation. They won 5 of the 6 stroke play events they played this year. All-Americans 1 through 5. Ortengren, Ganne, Revuelta, Kelly Sue, and Paula Martin Sampedro, who won the ACC individual championship on Friday. SMU, a great job finishing second in the stroke play and winning their semifinal matchup yesterday with University of North Carolina, but just ran into a team that's in the conversation for the best team ever assembled in this Stanford Cardinal. Celine Chen, Andrea Revuelta. They've reached the 15th hole. Excuse me, they've reached the 14th hole, where both have a look at it.
Much longer look here for Chen. Revuelta with a good look at birdie, so this one needs to take a scare at the hole.
And it does just that. Beautifully lagged. It'll be conceded par, and Revuelta will have a birdie putt to go 3 up with 4 to play. Will we see the 16th hole today, Julia? That's my question for you.
I don't know. I really, maybe not.
Revuelta now to go 3 up with 4 to play.
That's where she is in this match. Feels like she has such command. I would not be surprised if she gives it a go here.
Got to get it there.
That looked like a bit of a decel, didn't it, on the way down? That was not well struck. She's been pretty aggressive with the putter today, too. We've seen her run a few birdie putts a few feet beyond the hole, so that's a little shocking there for Revuelta.
That is a beautiful shot below the hole. Magha Ganne now at the par 5, giving it a run and chasing it all the way down.
Oh,
be a really difficult shot,
it
though.
It will. That's exactly what I was about to say. With where that kind of scurried out to, just short of that bunker, she'll be short-sided.
It just needs a tie, though, to end her match. St. Laurent 2 down to Kelly Sue at the 13th. The drivable 13th. Playing way back is St. Laurent. And you could see the ball of Kelly Sue much closer. So Kelly Sue an opportunity to go a 3 up. Stanford, though, on their way to their first ever ACC crown. And a couple birdie putts here at the 13th for St. Laurent and Kelly Sue. The senior for Stanford 2 up here at the 13th. St. Laurent looking to give it a run. Maybe she's done that a couple times today where she just ran it a little too aggressively past the hole.
Yeah, I respect wanting to get it there and giving it a chance to go in, but now you have a comebacker. You're 2 down. You don't want to get overly aggressive. And when you hit it that hard, too, you take out the break and you're playing it high. It makes it harder. That hole gets smaller the harder you hit it, actually.
Now, Ganne, we know, chased it all the way down. Lee's in a pretty good angle here. Remember, she is 4 down with 4 to play. She'd have to run the table. It can start here by hitting one tight.
That's exactly what she does. What a beautiful shot.
So likely birdie there for Mackenzie Lee. Can Ganne get it close enough and close that match out? Kelly Sue for birdie to win the hole, go 3 up. St. Laurent, a little work left to be done for her par. Doesn't matter. Kelly Sue from way downtown, bang. She has made a couple long ones today, and she goes 3 up with 5 to play.
She has played some impressive golf. Was on her way to lose the match yesterday against Rhiannon Maliksi, 4 down with 4 to go, and she has come out today really strong.
So Mackenzie Lee in close for birdie. Ganne 4 up, 4 to play, trying to close it out. This is to end the match by either making it or hitting it close would end the match as well. So this is her 3rd. If it goes in, it's over.
Oh,
she almost did it.
She was thinking about it. She was listening to you.
If she makes that, it's over. I'll tell you, she made that look a lot easier than I thought that shot was going to be.
That was not easy. We talked about it. She short-sided herself, had to go up and over that bunker. That was really well done. Her short game's been really good today.
Now Sampedro and Odwin. Sampedro 5 up with 6 to play. And she'll give herself a look for birdie.
Really all she needed to do there. You can see from this angle how tucked that whole location is. No reason not to just play it safely a little out to the right.
Remember, should Sampedro win this 13th, that would end that match. Odwin having other ideas. Stanford electing to lay up on all of their players at 13. Obviously, that part of their game plan. And you know what? Yes, after yesterday, with no one making birdie, going for it, like if it's not risk reward and it's just risk,
there's no point.
What's the point?
It's a smart play by Stanford, and we've touched on it today, how they've had a game plan at certain holes and they've executed it nicely.
Now you can see the grain change here. How difficult of putt?
Decently difficult. I think obviously down grain in the first half, and then as you get closer to the hole, back up into the grain. I think Megha is going to play this downhill the whole way, maybe breaks left to right. So a little downhill, a little left to right. Kind of a touchy little putt, honestly.
Definitely going to skate left to right. This to win the match and put a point on the board. Plays it way outside, and ooh, wow, it really snapped.
That looked like she had it there for a second. That was a tough putt, but I mean, she tried to give it a chance. It just peeled away at the end.
And that makes it a must-make for Mackenzie Lee. Meanwhile, Odwin does push it all the way up around the green. And risk reward there. Not much reward as she leaves herself a lengthy one. Must go in, and it does. So great birdie for Mackenzie Lee. She wins the hole. 3 down, 3 to play.
She's still fighting.
And we will see the 16th.
I don't think Megha's too concerned. In a great position. Just more golf to play for Magha Ganne here in North Carolina.
Now a make and miss from Sampedro, and this anchor match would be the 2nd point on the board for Stanford, Julia.
Well, we have certainly seen this player right here make some putts outside of 20 feet today.
Gives it a wrap and nearly holds it.
I'm almost more impressed by the way she misses putts too, because she obviously makes a lot of these putts, but the reason why we see her make so many is because her speed control is so good. We heard Brooks Koepka talk about it earlier in the year, how he was trying to work on fixing his speed from those outside range putts, and the reason why Sampedro is so good at it is because she has such great speed control.
To win the hole. And leaves it short. So 5 up, 5 to play is Sampedro. 3 up, 3 to play is Ganne.
I wasn't sure if I heard
3 up, 5 to play is Kelly Sue.
SMU 4. Stanford.
And might see Stanford put their first ACC championship on the board in the next 15 minutes. They are that close. And our first match to reach the 16th hole, Mackenzie Lee and Magha Ganne. Mackenzie Lee winning hole 15, needs to run the table here.
She's showing some fight today. She obviously hasn't had her best game. The putter has been off today, but a beautiful birdie at the last. Needs a good tee shot here, though. She has the ability to apply the pressure on Magha Ganne going first here.
Electing to go with hybrid. Hoists it way up into the air. And lands it softly.
Now, that's a pretty good shot on a long par 3 today.
Well, Ganne could likely end it right here by finding the surface. Remember, a tie would do the job. Not that Mackenzie can't make that, just unlikely she will. Ganne with iron.
One more good swing from Megha is all she needs. She's eyeing this one down, though.
Yep. And
For good reason.
for sure. It will slide away as it takes that slope, but as I said, a 2-putt for her and a 2-putt for Lee, and the second Stanford point is on the board. Then the question just becomes, Julia Johnson, where does that third point come from? Revuelta and Chen. It's Revuelta by 2 with 4 to play. So we know that match will see the 16th no matter what. Sampedro can close out Odwin at the 14th.
A lot of different circumstances that could happen here, but still a lot of fight left in SMU. They're obviously taking their time, paying attention.
How about this drive from Revuelta? Way down there and a great angle to boot.
It can't be understated how powerful these women are off the tee. None of them are large at all. They're all relatively tiny women, and they hit it a mile. They generate great swing speed.
Third down for Chen. And leaves it a little short, takes the hop and releases away from the hole. So a great opportunity for Revuelta to hit one close at the par 5 and go up 3 with 3 to play.
A quick player gets in quickly, knows what she needs to do. I like that play right there. Take it a little long because of that massive slope that's short out to the right. If you land on that, it trampolines it forward. I mean, in the position she's in, she's not taking up that bunker on and getting too cute. She's just going to take it past that hole.
So Stanford 1 point on the board, but leading in the other 4 matches. Who will close it out? That's now the question. And here we are at the 16th. Have to believe this is a must make for Mackenzie Lee. A par or a tie on the hole. And Magha Ganne puts the second point on the board for Stanford. Lee is away, leaves it short.
That's a disappointing putt. There's really, your only focus there is start it on the right line, but really just get it to the hole. Give it a chance.
So if Ganne can hit it close, that will be the point. Could be a conceded point in match 2 with a decent birdie putt from Megha. This is Revuelta. This is for birdie to go 3 up with 3 to play.
It was hard right at the end.
Well read.
That was a good putt there.
And she'll make par. Now Magha Ganne to close out the match. A putt to win. Actually, it would be 2 putts to win the match. Does she need both? She does.
Almost
need
not.
Both. So that will be that. Magha Ganne wins her match with Mackenzie Lee. And the second point goes on the board for the Stanford Cardinal. Now just 1 point away from winning their first ever ACC championship. Ganne, who's done so much in her amateur career, now adds an ACC, or a point away from adding an ACC championship, the first in school's history. So match 1 and 2 in the books. Where will that third point come from? A lot to choose from. Sampedro, the individual champ, might want to just close that out in that anchor match.
What a way to finish her week out. It's been an incredible week for her.
Birdie to win the hole for Celine Chen. And she leaves it short, so she'll stay 2 down with 3 to play.
Stanford 5, SMU 5. Stanford remains 2 up with 3 holes.
And Rev Welta will go to the 16th with a chance to win the ACC championship for Stanford.
That's just a race to see who can get that point, isn't it?
It is a race, yes, indeed. 5 up, 5 to play is Sampedro. Kelly Sue 3 up with 5 to play, and Rev Welta 2 up with 3 to play. Sampedro could do it right here.
She has been dominant. Started off a little bit slower, 4 pars in a row, but since then she has turned it on.
Wind really gusting, and she'll have that putt to win the ACC championship. Be not only the individual champ, but the team champion. Now Odwin has to win the hole, Julia. A tie here ends it. So we might be seeing history right here for Stanford. Odwin has to make that putt and a Sampedro miss. If Odwin misses that putt, that will be that. Stanford will be your ACC champion. It's really come down to that.
Pretty impressive that it might come down to the woman who won the individual portion of this championship by tying the ACC conference scoring record through 3 rounds. So some really impressive golf being played by all 5 Stanford Cardinal today.
Now Rev Welta is the fastest player on Stanford. She may elect to just end it right here off the tee.
She's very quick, not a lot of decision, going back, getting another club, and that might be due to the fact that that wind has picked up, like you said. You can see out to the right the bushes and trees starting to really blow, but once she makes her decision, she is quick to hit the shot. I love that about her. She's a quick player, doesn't overthink anything.
And below the hole, not quite on the green. And depending on Odwin, she may not even hit a second shot on this hole.
Important
How quickly did they call it?
Exactly. It's hard to say for these players because you try to play your hole out. You're not really focused on what your teammates are doing because she has no idea, really. She shouldn't that Sampedro could win it.
Of course.
So she's still playing hers. She's still focused on what she's doing. It'll rev right through pretty quickly, though. You'll know pretty quickly that you've won the championship, but important to stay focused, stay in your match.
So Sampedro and Odwin both stocking the putt here. A crowd has gathered at the 14th.
Well, why wouldn't you? If you have the opportunity, you're local to this golf course, why not go see maybe the best women's collegiate golf team that's ever been assembled? These women are going to be playing on the LPGA sooner rather than later.
This a must make to extend the match seemingly for Emily Odwin. So now 2 putts for Sampedro to win the ACC championship for the Stanford Cardinal. It would be their first ever ACC championship. Head coach Ann Walker has done everything there is to do. Of course, Stanford just joining the ACC a couple of years ago. Surprise last year that they didn't win it. They're back again this year, and now this is a putt to win the crown. A 2-putt would also win the championship. Can't see her 3-putting from here, Julia.
Absolutely not. How fitting that she can close it out for Stanford here with 2 putts.
We put the kibosh on her.
I mean, I don't know if she knew the moment. That's an important thing to remember. She might not know in that moment, if she doesn't have a coach near her, which it looks like she doesn't, that all she needs is 2 putts there to win it. Obviously, she knows she just needs 2 putts to win her match, but how aggressive is that for Sampedro?
So this putt now is for the ACC championship, the first in Stanford's history. This team #1 in the nation every week of the season. Paula Martin Sampedro, 14 under to win the individual stroke play championship. Looking for the double, and she 3 putts. Absolutely shocker.
I mean, I would have never guessed that that's what would have happened there. Just a little bit too much adrenaline with that first putt.
And welcome back, Ryan Bird, Julia Johnson. You know, most disappointing part for Sampedro, there's a pretty high likelihood that she may not even be able to finish her next hole. How does that work, Julia? When a teammate elsewhere on the golf course wins the championship in match play, the other matches just go to a tie?
It does. It actually has changed in recent years. At the NCAAs, if you were 3 up with 4 to go, you would actually be given the match depending on where you stood when everyone else finished. The NCAA has elected to change that. About 2 years ago, they decided that. So if you don't finish your match, you don't get awarded for where you stood before it all closed out.
Chen, her second.
What a shot.
Yeah, very well done. It does get slick past there. So again, Revuelta now. An opportunity to win it for Stanford. Although it again is putter from off the green. There's 2 options here. A make ends it, or a Chen miss and a 2-putt from Revuelta ends it.
I don't mind this play at all here. She's been really, really good from off the green with this club. Just cozy something up there. A bit of a misread. She started that right at the hole. It peeled right at the end, lacking just a little bit of pace, but not a bad shot.
So now Celine Chen likely, and we said that before, but likely has to make this to extend to the 17th hole. If she misses and Revuelta makes the par, it'll be over. Stanford will win the ACC championship.
She had a really nice pitch from beyond the green to get it to this point. This would be a really nice up and down. And for a woman who's fought really, really hard today, she has played some good golf. She's fought hard. She's been really the heartbeat of this team.
Made a ton of putts this week, too, from this length. Can she do it again? She can. Rolls it in. And it will not end at 16 for Revuelta. They'll go to the 17th.
Well, Revuelta still with a little bit of work left to do here. You would expect her to just take care of this quickly, but after Sampedro at the last, you really can't give anything.
And this opens the door for Kelly Sue, the senior, to end it at the 15th hole if she can win it. Stanford has a lot of options. And Revuelta ties the hole. They'll go to 17.
Oh, 2 good pars at a difficult par 3, so well done for both of these women.
So 3 matches left on the golf course. Stanford in control of all 3 on the ACC network. Welcome back. ACC Network, ACC Championship, Stanford and SMU. Stanford a shot away from winning potentially their first ever ACC championship. 3 matches left on the golf course, and Stanford could close it out with all 3, including this from Kelly Sue. This is her 3rd. How close can she get this, Julia?
I think pretty close. She left it in a great position here. Going high with it, trying to get it to land softly, then chase out. That's not how I expected her to play that, and that's a poor shot for her standards. That should have been easily within 5 or even 4 feet, so not her best there.
Going high was the mystery.
Absolutely. I think you could have gone a little bit of a mid-trajectory with that shot and chased something out, so you'd have to think she didn't have a great lie maybe, and she's frustrated with that one too.
I'm not sure. Obviously, we'll never know if Stanford understands that each of them have, but really all 3 have shown some, if they do know the situation, they've all 3 shown a little bit of nerves of closing this thing out. I mean, it's going to happen. It's just, the impossible 3-putt from Sampedro. That was a poor chip there from Kelly Sue.
I think you touched on it earlier, and you're absolutely right. One of the hardest things to do in this match play format is finish. It's just really hard because your playing competitors are never going to give up. They're never going to start giving you holes. If anything, they start to play sharper because they realize that they have fewer and fewer holes left.
A make here from St. Laurent will extend this match to the 16th.
And this is not an easy putt, though. We've seen it quite a bit now. It's a big breaker from left to right. Plays downhill most of the way. As it gets closer to the hole, it goes back up into the green ever so slightly. But not an easy putt to make.
It definitely snaps at the end. Freshman will be a real building block for SMU as they continue to build this program. There it starts to go. And she'll be conceded that par. So now Kelly Sue will have a putt to win the ACC championship. This is now the 2nd time Stanford has had a putt to win the crown. Would be fitting if it was off of the club of Kelly Sue, the least heralded of the 5, but a senior leader for sure. Didn't do herself any favors, though, pitching to just this position.
No, and a much easier putt than St. Laurent, but still, like you said, not what she wanted with that pitch. She was green high there, had all the green in the world to work with. Just a bit of a mishit, but all can be forgotten. If she can get this one to go, she can be aggressive with this one, putting back uphill, back into the grain, a little bit of a right to left breaker. This is really an ideal putt for a right-handed golfer here. Too high.
So we'll play on. The fifth match, Sampedro and Odwin. Once again, Sampedro in a similar position she was back at 14. All she needs is a tie, and it will win Stanford the crown. Odwin is her second. Just a hybrid in, Julia.
Really low trajectory there. Hit down on that one.
And will be in an almost identical position to that of Kelly Sue. Very similar.
Lots of power right there. Let's see what kind of lie she draws if it's an easier shot than Kelly Sue just had.
And the other element, certainly, that Bermuda grass takes getting used to. The par 5 17th, Celine Chen. And unable to get it on the dance floor.
All lie dependent now. What kind of lie can you draw? Advantage maybe Revuelta here. In the driver's seat, 2 up with only 2 to go.
Yeah, she'll give it a run. Trying to keep it maybe a little right of the hole. And she too leaves it short.
Battle of the short games here at the 17th.
Now back at 15, Sampedro eyeing things as she too in a very similar position to Odwin. A little further back.
She certainly doesn't seem rattled by her 3-putt at the last. She's actually left it in a really nice spot here, just short of the green, out to the left a little bit. Ball on the upslope as well, so she can land this softly if she wanted to, if she wanted to carry it a little bit deeper into the green.
Certainly taking her time here. Not sure what the delay is for. I guess she's going to let Odwin go to her ball before she plays. And maybe Odwin's away. That almost appears to be what it is, huh?
Well, you have to abide by who's the furthest out, because if you go first in match play and your opponent is actually out, they can require you to re-hit that shot. If you play out of position, you can be forced to re-hit.
So Kelly Sue now at 16. Three up, 3 to play.
Maybe one more good shot here for Kelly Sue and she can close this out. How about it? Beautiful shot there.
Beautiful. Gives herself about 20 feet. And applies some pressure back to St. Laurent. So it looks like Odwin will play first. That's exactly what the delay from Martin Sampedro was in regards to. Both players here in 2. This is their 3rd. Odwin won the last hole.
Oh, how about it? What a beautiful pitch.
Yeah, I kind of expected that from Kelly Sue. A little more get it on the ground with. She didn't seem to love it.
Maybe just about where that ball finished, the fact that it'll be a downhill kind of quick putt now.
Now Chen. And well done. So SMU, the inevitable is the inevitable, but SMU is making Stanford earn it. That is for sure. Now Sampedro. She too will let it release to the hole. And remember, a tie there. Again, really forcing Odwin to make a putt.
Well, it could all happen at once, really, here
Yeah.
in the next few minutes. Looks like Sampedro might be the one to close it out. Depends on how quickly these women play.
Right, right. Well, Odwin will putt first. If it goes in, we know we're no, that's not true. Odwin would need a make and a miss from Sampedro. A tie, once again, a tie goes to Stanford. And that is in any of the 3 matches.
Absolutely.
They just need a tie at this point in any of the 3 matches. SMU would need to run the table on every hole remaining on the golf course. It starts here. Beautiful shot from Odwin to here.
Downhill, left to right. Needs it to go.
And that is going to put some pressure back on the putter of Paula Martin Sampedro,
who just recently missed a very short one, had a pretty uncharacteristic 3-putt, but you really couldn't leave yourself in a better position here below the hole, putting back up the hill. I think you can keep this inside the hole right center.
So for the second time, Sampedro, an opportunity to win it for Stanford. And history has been made. The Stanford Cardinal are ACC champions for the first time in the school's history. The individual champ, Paula Martin Sampedro, gets it done, and it's the double for Sampedro, individual and team champion. And how about that smile? That tells you all. It tells you how important this was to Stanford.
Big hug from head coach Ann Walker. The emotion's high right now.
Chen and Revuelta unaware what has transpired. And Chen.
She doesn't give up, does she?
No. She played really well.
She did. She needs to be proud of the way that she played today. Very impressive.
Now Revuelta to tie the hole, and she misses. Doesn't matter, but she will get word that her team just won the championship.
SMU 4, Stanford is 1 up.
And word has begun to spread, Julia.
Head coach Ann Walker getting a lot of messages right about now of congratulations.
So Kelly Sue also thinks that she has an opportunity to win it for her school.
She's been so good with this putter today. Can she make one more?
So now the question goes, Stanford revenges not winning the ACC last year. Can they do the same and go back to California and win a national championship?
They look sharp today. Coming down the stretch, maybe just leaking a little bit of oil in a few of those matches, but they got such big leads, it didn't matter.
Now, word has not gotten to this group, but it will soon. Not the freshman's best putt of the day. She'll put a mark on it. Looks like they will allow them to finish up here. But the party is on for Stanford.
I don't know where there's a hole in that lineup from 1 to 5. I don't know where you look at it and you say, well, this might be an easy match to circle. There's not an easy match on that team. I mean, they're just so strong top to bottom.
I do think Kelly Sue maybe just got a thumbs up that they had secured the championship, but nonetheless her putt would to close her match out as well. They're loading the carts up though, Julia.
Yeah.
She's going to say one more. Give me one more putt. Oh, there she goes.
So pictures all the way around with the champion.
Thank you. Thanks for watching.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Thumbs up. You watched some good golf today if you followed this team.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I think you bring up a good point. I mean, there just isn't any holes in this lineup, and someone will have to win 3 out of 5.
They're not playing anymore.
Well, it was good while it
Congratulations to
lasted.
you, though. Okay.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Safe flight home.
Wonderful effort from SMU, finishing second in the stroke play, getting the bye in the quarters all the way to the semi, beating North Carolina yesterday. And a ton for SMU and head coach Lauren Mason to be proud of.
Absolutely. They came into the week really not expected to get the 2 seed. They came into the week 6th in the ACC regarding to ranking and played really, really well in stroke play. Got the 2 seed, got the bye straight into the semis. Played well against North Carolina yesterday, but they just ran into a team that was bound and determined to win this championship today.
Yeah, and you know, I also think it's probably pretty easy to get over this one, because once the dust settles, you can look at that team and the rankings of Stanford and be like, that team's probably winning a national championship.
Absolutely.
So congratulations to the Stanford Cardinal, first-time winner of the ACC Team Championship. More after this. And welcome back, ACC Network, with the ACC Women's Golf Championship. The #1 team in the nation, #1 team in the ACC, wins their first ever ACC crown. Porter's Neck Country Club, Wilmington, North Carolina. Stanford takes down SMU, and really did it in emphatic style. Julia Johnson. That lineup is so dominant, 1 through 5, 5 All-Americans, and really they proved it again today. They just make so few mistakes.
Absolutely. They don't make mistakes. They have a game plan. They execute it to near perfection. They get big leads, and it's just too hard for their opponents to bite into those leads. They're just too big. So it's inevitable that they're going to win. We were really trying to figure out who would do it at the end, who would get the last point that they needed. But well done top to bottom for Stanford today.
And what a luxury for Ann Walker and Stanford to be able to have that kind of depth in their lineup, especially when you get into match play. So Stanford will head into the NCAAs as an ACC champion. Back after this. Ryan Burback with Julia Johnson here on the ACC Network. Stanford, such a dominating team all season long. And now they have an ACC championship banner to put in the rafters. Really, you look at that lineup, the conversation now is, will this Stanford team go down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest team ever assembled? The first step has been accomplished. Go win a conference championship. They've done that.
They absolutely have, and this is a team that we will think about as being the greatest team ever assembled, but they need to get it done. They need to get it done at the national championship. That starts with regionals. You have to make it to La Costa first, so their focus will shift to regionals. They will try to get to La Costa, obviously, and then once you get there, I think this week will be big for them. They have obviously showed themselves that they can get it done in match play. That's important because you have to get it done in match play to win a national championship, but this team, top to bottom, there is no give up. They are so good top to bottom. It's hard to think that they won't get it done.
Yeah, beating Duke in the semifinals and then SMU here in the finals. You look at the ACC as a whole now, Julia, as they head into the NCAA championships. 5 teams ranked in the top 25. SMU not among those 5. They'll obviously go on to the NCAA championships as well. So 6, 7 teams will have a chance. How many teams in this conference can make a run?
I think quite a few. I think this is a really good conference top to bottom. Like you said, 5 teams in the top 20. SMU, not being one of those teams, came out this week and showed a great performance. So you go to regionals, anything can happen, really. But I think that there are probably 3 to 4 teams within this conference that can really make a push at making it into match play at La Costa.
Well, certainly Stanford is the creme of the creme, if you will. How much pressure, though, when you look at Stanford, when all you do is hear about how great you are? Are you the best team ever? It's one thing to win an ACC. It's another thing to go and do what they couldn't do last year. Regardless of what you say, that is real pressure. How do you handle that?
Absolutely it is. And you have a team that this is the exact same lineup that they had at La Costa last year. But you had 2 freshmen on that team last year in Ortengren and Revuelta. So they have experience now. They know what it feels like to make it there. So maybe we're seeing a little bit more of a veteran-style team now with Stanford.
And for the first time ever, ACC T-shirts, hats, and rings on their way to the Stanford Cardinal. We'll take another timeout. Be back after this. And welcome back, ACC Network. Stanford, for the first time in school's history, able to win the ACC championship in the ACC tournament. And we welcome in the head coach of Stanford, Ann Walker. And Coach, obviously you've done everything there is to do at Stanford, but for the first time in your second year going to the ACCs, you can add the T-shirt and the hat to your collection. How big of a deal is this for your team to come east, win the ACC championship, put those hats and rings on heading into NCAAs?
We're very excited. We had a great ACC stroke play last year, and we were disappointed to go home in the semifinal match. And that definitely stuck with us this year. And we made some adjustments coming into the week after learning last year, and we're excited that it paid off with this victory.
Coach Walker, walk us through your game plan headed into today. It looked like you had a methodical game plan. It started at hole 1. Your team did really well at the first hole of the day, won every single match at 1. Did you have a game plan headed into today where you wanted to hit it, how you wanted to play 5, 13, and whatnot?
We've kind of had the same game plan all week. There's a lot of hole locations out here that can be incredibly difficult if you miss them in the wrong spots. So that was a area of focus, and I think hole number 1 was a perfect example of that. It was extremely dicey over there. You had to respect the cup, and we got lucky that we hit some really nice shots in. We were coming in from the right angle on the fairway, and we converted a couple. So we got very fortunate there on hole number 1, but that certainly gave us some momentum heading into the next 17 holes.
Well, top to bottom, you are so strong, 1 to 5. Are you methodical about how you set that lineup out? Do you send Meja out there intentionally first to go get that first point, and then you have Martin Sampedro in the anchor match? Is that something you think about as you're setting up pairings?
It depends. I'll say it's day to day for sure. We're always trying to stay in touch with where our players are at, maybe what they're thinking about, what they would like to do. Meja did so well yesterday leading us off. We felt like she really had great momentum. And today that proved to be true as well. I think Paula on this golf course has just been phenomenal. She's been really having a great stretch of golf. And having her in the anchor match, we knew that if it was going to come down to the last match, there's no one we'd rather have than Paula on this golf course. And so it worked out for us, but usually when it comes to match play, it is a little bit day-to-day and talking to the players and seeing what their desires are, too.
Last thing, Coach, we all know, everyone talks about, is this the greatest team ever assembled in college golf? Certainly their individual resumes are incredible. Coming into this season, clearly there were 2 major goals: win the first ever ACC championship and go in revenge last year and win the NCAA championship. 1 down, 1 to go. How good do you feel about your team heading into the NCAAs?
I mean, they're checking all the boxes best we can. We have 3 players leaving tonight for Chevron, and so we'll be paying really close attention to recovery and making sure that when we get to regionals, we get to nationals, that everyone's rested. I think that'll be a huge focus for this group. But, of course, we'd love to be there at the end. That would be wonderful, but we also know that it's incredibly difficult and a lot of things have to go your way. So we're going to stay one day at a time, get recovered, and hopefully give it a shot.
Well, celebrate the championship today. First ACC crown in Stanford's a couple of years in the conference. Congratulations, Coach. We'll catch up with you down the road.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for covering.
You got it, absolutely. So Stanford wins their first ACC championship in their second year in the conference. And now's the fun part. You get your pictures, your hats, and your T-shirts. Let's take a look at some of the highlights, and certainly right out of the gate, Meja Ortengren, so fundamentally sound.
The putter was beautiful today. She made so many good putts. Speed control was really, really good.
Match 2, Magha Ganne, and really from the beginning, she just took control of this match, and she did it with the putter.
She really did. This putt right here kind of drips it in on the left edge. Perfect speed, gets it to go.
So 1 up through 1, and now it's 7. She's already 4 up through 7.
Ball striking was really good for Magha Ganne today, especially into the greens. Her approach shots were really, really nice. Another good one here.
And both players would make birdie there, so she would stay 4 up. And here she is at the 12th. That putter stays hot.
Does, putting back up the hill. Perfect speed, gets it to go.
And Ganne would go on to win her match. Match 3, Andrea Revuelta. She won the individual portion last year, did not win the team crown. Different time this time around. She rolls that one in.
What a beautiful putt. Great way to start her day there.
And now at 11. Remember, every Stanford girl actually won the first hole. Now at 11, another lengthy birdie effort.
And this was really well judged. Perfect speed, gets it to go from downtown. Wave to the crowd.
And Kelly Sue, the senior on this team, also at the first hole from downtown.
Stanford Cardinal played this first hole so good. Peels it in on the right side.
You asked Coach Walker, hole 1, 5, and 13, was there a game plan? Certainly appeared to be for Kelly Sue.
She played these holes really strategically, laid it back a little bit, had a good wedge into here, and executed that nicely.
And made birdie there. And then at 13, just continues to pour them in from, really outside the make zone.
Yeah, you're not really expecting these to go in, but matches line and speed nicely there, gets it to go.
And then finally, Paula Martin Sampedro. You just heard Coach Walker say no one they would want in that anchor much more than Sampedro, the individual winner. She absolutely destroys the par 5s. Would be a birdie there. Here she is at 6. This to tie from off the green. How's that for demoralizing?
She needed that one to go.
So a tie at 6. Here she is at 7 now. Another birdie effort again from outside that make zone.
And this is just demoralizing, like you said, for your opponent. When you keep getting these to go, they've hit it inside you, but you putt first, you get it to go down. It's really, really tough.
Now her second at the 12th.
Ball just slightly above her feet. She hits it so far, though. Just a little wedge in here to a par 4.
Just no breathing room, Julia.
Not.
No breathing room from Martin Sampedro. And then finally at 15, and that would do it. That would be the final and the ultimate putt that ultimately would give her the double, winning both the individual and the ACC team championship. So all in all, as predicted, chalk reigns supreme at the 2026 ACC championship. The rings and the trophies awarded to Stanford as champions of the conference. These are the pictures you want to pose for, right?
Absolutely. These are things that are fun to
And your
bring home on the plane.
ACC Women's Golf Champions, the Stanford Cardinal.
And that is a great trophy right there.
Absolutely.
The first ACC championship to put in the trophy case. And boy, they've got a few when it comes to women's golf.
That'll be a special one there. The first of many, you would have to assume, the Stanford Cardinal.
And 3 will go straight from North Carolina to play in a major championship. That's the kind of depth this team has.
I mean, those 3 that are going could play on the LPGA. That's how good they're playing right now. And so Coach Ann Walker talked about recovery, rest. Let's get this team rested and recovered as they head into regionals.
Oh, wait.
But that's the only mistake we've seen. We got to redo the picture. But yes, congratulations to Stanford. They will be big favorites in the NCAA. But as Coach Walker said, it's golf. Anything can happen, Julia.
It really can. You can have one off day, and it's so hard to make it to that semifinal match of the national championship. So she knows it's not a given, and I like that approach because she's not taking anything for granted. She knows it's hard to get there. I appreciate that about her, and these girls will work hard to get back to the finals of the NCAAs.
Porter's Neck Country Club also faring very well in this ACC championship, so congratulations to them. A lot of work put in there. Final thoughts, Julia. Stanford heading into the NCAAs. How surprised would you be if they don't win it all?
I would be surprised. They look too strong from top to bottom. There's no gaps in this lineup. They're too good from 1 to 5. It's pretty incredible.
So that caps off an incredible season of ACC women's golf. The championship started with 15 schools, and now just one can hoist the trophy here at Porter's Neck Country Club. The #1 team in the nation is #1 in the ACC as the Stanford Cardinal win the ACC championship. For our producer, Jim LaPera, Chris Oldmeyer, our executive producer, and for Julia Johnson, I'm Brian Burr saying until next time, so long, everyone, from the ACC championship.